Thank you for tuning in here on the Triton Nation Network. We're here in Hodges Fieldhouse for some more Triton basketball action. You're here with Dan Johnson. I'll be here on play-by-play alongside me on color. Rob Jones. Rob, great to have you here once again.
Dan, good to be with you. You know, another ICCAC matchup here tonight, another conference game at home. Need to hold serve. And the Tritons coming off a big win on the road against Southwestern over the weekend, so looking to keep the momentum rolling tonight.
Yep, Tritons here 10-7, as you said, just came off that Southwestern Community College win, 79-75 in overtime. They'll be taking on the 2-11 Little Priest Tribal College women. They just came off a win against Ellsworth, 63-55. Starting lineup for the visiting Little Priest Tribal College: number 3, Cheney Hall; number 11, Naomi Mayers; number 13, Kaylee Begay; 22, Amaya Leon; and number 23, Aaliyah Clay. Taking a peek at the starting five for the Iowa Central Tritons: number 4, Mardeja Cross; number 12, Annie Cummings; number 20, Jordan Engbrecht; 22, Aaliyah Hull; and number 32, Kayla Jackson.
You know, the Tritons had a nice offensive performance in that win over Southwestern on Saturday, where they had 5 players in double figures. Great offensive balance. They're looking to continue that tonight. Little Priest, as you mentioned, coming off a big win. They're just their second win, but probably their biggest one of the year against Ellsworth. Cheney.
The Clay for Little Priest as Mardeja Cross gets that rebound. Little Priest able to haul it in. And they'll come down to their end of the floor. Number 11, Naomi Mayers with it. She's going to kick it out to Begay. Now Leon with it, gets it over to Aaliyah Clay. Clay puts up the three-pointer. That one going to miss the rim, but the Priest Tribal College Warriors will come up with that rebound.
Good job by Hull there to get a hand on that one, get around defensively, and not let the offensive player get positioned down low there.
So Kayla Jackson will be set to inbound this one for Iowa Central. Inbounded to Annie Cummings.
It's a 1-2-2 zone here for Little Priest in the early going.
A little bit of a fumble there by Cummings, but they're able to get it now inside to Aaliyah Hull, who loses her grip on it, but she's going to get it back out to Cross. And just some butterfingers, it seems like, here so far. Annie Cummings had some trouble. Then we saw Aaliyah Hull kind of mishandle it in the post and then went out of bounds as Mardeja Cross couldn't quite get a hold on the ball there.
Well, you know, it's kind of a quiet crowd here, not a big crowd today, and sometimes you can have a lack of focus and energy in the early going. Because of that, Tritons need to shake that off early here.
Kayla Jackson puts up the three, and that's going to be good for the first basket of the game, a three-pointer for Kayla Jackson of the Iowa Central Tritons. Little Priest will try and answer back, but Jordan Engbrecht is going to at least break up the momentum that they might have had coming down to their end of the court. Unfortunately, stepped out of bounds for the Tritons, so now Little Priest will have another chance to get it in the hoop.
A good read there by Engbrecht defensively, and I'll go back to the Kayla Jackson three. Going to be important for the Tritons to stretch the defense against the zone on the other end of the floor.
Little Priest top of the key over to the right now. The Warriors at the top of the key, getting it down towards the post. Kayla Jackson going to come up with the rebound. Jackson going to slow it down a little bit and get it over to Cummings.
Oh, they missed Engbrecht. Engbrecht was open underneath. They missed her.
Jackson with it towards the top left of the key. Gets it over to Cross. Back to Jackson. Into the quarter to Engbrecht. Cross court to Cummings. Just about taken to the Warriors' end of the court, but it's going to get down towards the post. And we'll see. We'll get a foul called on Hull there.
The 1-2-2 zone defense is not something that you're going to see a lot of in the college game, and you can tell the Tritons haven't seen much of it. There's a couple of things you need to do against the 1-2-2. As a former coach, I actually coached the 1-2-2 as my primary half-court defense. One of the things you got to do, get somebody flashing in the middle. Go flash middle, high-low, and also in the post there. If you can't get it in the post, step out to the baseline, create that short corner on a give and go.
We just saw number 50, Kebriana Collins, enter the game for Iowa Central as the Little Priest College Warriors are on their end of the floor. That one going to end up out of bounds going the Triton's way. They'll say it came off of number 21, Stevie Peters of the Warriors.
Triton's doing a good job defensively contesting the three-point shot. We talked about how important that would be, and they've done a good job in the early going with that. There we go, a little flash to the high post.
In the corner with Engbrecht. Back to Jackson. Engbrecht in the corner, wide open, and she makes it count. 6-0, first couple of baskets made for Iowa Central, both three-pointers. As Little Priest has it, now in the corner. Hall to Mayers, and then Leon. They'll try and get it set up towards the outside of the arch. Into the left corner. Now down low.
Change pivot feet there. That's the travel call. Good call by the official there. It's 21. Peters stepped with her right and stepped with her left. A little hokey pokey. You can't do that. That's a turnover. Tritons will take over.
So now on the Tritons' end, Collins puts that one up off the glass and good for the Tritons, out to an 8-0 lead here in the first quarter.
Tremendous start for the Tritons here in front of the home crowd.
Mayers gets it over to Hall. Then to Leon. She'll try and get into the lane. Not quite enough mustard on it, so it'll end up short. Go down to the Tritons' end of the court. Cross and Engbrecht against a couple of Warriors. That one no good. It'll get tipped out to Jackson. Cummings for three. That one good as well. 3 3-pointers in this first quarter. 6:18 left in the first quarter.
And a timeout here on the floor, 30-second timeout. Little Priest going to try to break the momentum here. I think it's a little late with the timeout. In my coaching days, 6-0 run was all you got before the timeout. But Triton's off to a tremendous start. As you mentioned, 3 threes, 2 of them, Dan Johnson, off of an offensive rebound. And a lot of coaches will tell you they love to shoot the 3 ball off the offensive rebound. There's a couple of reasons for it. One reason is on the offensive rebound, the defense is sucked in. So you've got more room. You've got a cleaner look on that kick out for the 3, and the Tritons knocking them down as a result.
So we'll see both teams enter the floor after that timeout. Little Priest going to take it down to their end of the floor, try and get themselves up on the board here in the first quarter. Mayers bringing it down the floor. Hands it off to Hall. Then to Leon. Over in the corner. And now on the right side of the key. Over to Begay. Tries to enter it into the post. And just about taken by the Tritons, but it'll end up back here. 2 on the shot clock. And they're going to get that shot clock violation.
Good job by the Tritons there. Really good job of working through the screens and communicating. As one of my old coaches used to say, a quiet gym is a losing gym. You got to talk on defense. Tritons doing a good job there in the half court, man-to-man early on.
And Little Priest might have been taken a little off balance by that after the ball had been tipped around a little bit. Iowa Central just about had that seal, and as we saw, that led to the shot clock violation. As the Tritons will have it on their end of the floor. Jackson trying to knock in that three-pointer, no good. Little Priest will come up with the rebound, and they'll take it down to their end of the floor. Tried to pass it up there to Hall, but no good as Engbrecht comes up with up. Annie Cummings with some fancy handles to keep possession with herself and the Tritons. Towards the corner to Cross,
There's
who
that
finds
short
Cummings.
corner play. Nice job by Cross to get in the crease of the zone there.
As Leon will bring it down to the Little Priest end of the floor. She's got plenty of space. Not quite able to knock that one down. A good idea, right idea, though. Had plenty of space as she brought the ball up. Maybe getting a little closer to the basket, but
got to catch that one, Engbrecht.
able to save it before it went out of bounds, but ended up with a Little Priest player, so now they'll come down to their end of the floor with it. Leon now out to Mayers, who knocks down the first shot, a three-pointer for Little Priest. So the first basket for both teams we see here tonight, a three-pointer.
Mayers averages in double figures and shoots at a pretty high clip there, and wide open look there. First shot of the night, first bucket of the night there for Little Priest. And a good start for the Tritons here, but they can't let up here. They've had a couple of lapses, one on the defensive end, not the bucket, actually. It was the one before that where they didn't pick up the ball. The shooter just missed a shot. And the other one where they had to pass a wide open layup and dropped a pass there. Got to connect on that.
Had some subs come in there for both teams. For Little Priest, number 42, Shaylee Scabby, and number 1, Victoria Para. We also saw number 34, Isabel West, enter the game for the Tritons. As West, trying to make her mark here, misses the first one, gets her own rebound, puts it right back up to draw the foul.
Isabel had a big game against Southwestern over the weekend, too, as part of that group that had double figures there, and she's averaging 11.6 and coming off the bench now. She had 15 against Southwestern on Saturday.
She's shooting 65% from the free throw line so far this year, 36 for 55.
And knocks them both down on this trip.
So now Little Priest will come back down, see if they can put some more points up on the board here and close this gap. As they enter it into the post, he's going to get the foul call.
I don't know about that one. West is really pretty much just standing there. So I'm not sure about that one. We'll give the official the benefit of the doubt here.
So with that call, it'll send number 23, Aaliyah Clay, to the line for Little Priest. See if she knocks this first one down. That one good. Clay currently 54.5% on the year for free throw percentage. Currently at 13 and 23, and she'll go to 13 and 24 on the season. As Cross is going to bring it down for the Tritons. Cummings tried to get into the lane there, but decided to step back out. Cross back to Cummings and into the corner to Engbrecht, who's going to put it up for three. No, not quite good on that one, but Hull pulls down the rebound. Able to get it to Hull. No good on that one. Cross gets the offensive rebound. No good, but Triton's doing an extremely good job of getting offensive rebounds here early in this game.
Good activity on the glass.
Little Priest will have it up at the top of the key. Mares with it. She'll try and get into the lane here. Kicks it out. Leon with it. Puts it up off the glass. Not quite good. Scabby will come up with the rebound. Hull fights for it, and they'll call it a jump ball. And that one looks like is going to stay going Little Priest direction. But the Tritons will get a change in the possession arrow over there.
Jackson's going to come back in the game here for Hall for the Tritons.
A little bit of chatter between officials here. Whether they're having a little bit of disagreement whether it would be a jump ball or not.
I believe they ended up crediting that as a foul, I think.
Well, it looks like we had that possession arrow change, so they must have.
Okay.
So it'll stay on Little Priest's end of the floor here. Leon with it over on the right side of the arch. Towards the high elbow. Into the corner. A wide open three-pointer. Off the mark on that one. It'll end up going out of bounds and go down towards the Tritons' direction. Actually sounds like we had a foul there on number 1, Victoria Para of Little Priest. But Iowa Central come down to their end of the floor either way. Annie Cummings with it, gets it off to Kayla Jackson. Jackson across and now into West.
Dangerous pass.
Cummings still able to knock down the three, though, with the interference on that pass out to her. A great thing to see in players. You know, it might be a little bit of a wobbly pass or something, maybe mixed up in the air, but still able to catch and shoot it and knock it down.
With it and focus. Good job by Cummings. 2:15 to play here in the first quarter. All Tritons so far here, Dan Johnson, 18-4.
Leon with it, puts that one up for a three. A good few steps behind the three-point line as well. Amaya Leon able to knock that one down for Little Priest.
Hit that one from your hometown, Gallery.
Over to Cummings now. Tritons trying to keep the gap wide. Jackson to Engbrecht. Engbrecht trying to match a three-pointer, and she's good.
Engbrecht and Cummings shooting it with a lot of confidence and in good rhythm here tonight.
Naomi Maris tries to drive into the lane. That one high off the glass, a nice shot.
Little late night banking hours for Naomi Maris.
We're seeing some great basketball played here in this past minute. We'll see if they can keep it up out here. Cummings with it, another three-point attempt. That one good. She's got the hot hand out here. And we're going to get a timeout from Little Priest to try and cool down the Tritons here.
They're going to have to come out of the zone here. Cummings and Engbrecht, the way they're shooting the ball, you're not going to be able to stay in the zone defense there and give them the open looks. At this point, when you're Cummings and Engbrecht and you're knocking down shots, the basket looks like a hula hoop to you. And so you're just looking for that next opportunity. Let me get square. Let me be shot ready. I'm going to catch it in rhythm, and I'm going to knock it down. And that's what Cummings has done tonight, and that's what Engbrecht has done as well. And Little Priest's going to have to do something a little bit different here because they're basically squaring up, letting Cross kind of take the dribble, or Jackson take the dribble, take the defense, make that defense collapse, and then kick out opposite and knocking it down. Raining threes here in Hodges Fieldhouse.
I just wanted to talk about really quick because we didn't get too much time to cover it, but we had that pass out to Cummings for a three-pointer that had been knocked around in the air, and it's just a great skill to have where the pass doesn't end up exactly where you might. It's not straight in your chest. It might be over your head towards your legs, but she's still able to refocus, make sure she's square, and then knock down that three-point shot.
Yep, you have to adjust to it. You adjust it. Have your body ready to catch it. You're ready to catch it. You adjust and shoot the ball in rhythm.
So the Tritons up 24-9. Little Priest going to try and close that gap before the end of this first quarter, and they're going to start it off with that shot in the corner there by number 11, Naomi Mares. Actually looked like it might have been number 3, Cheney Hall.
Yeah, it was Hall on the three there.
Kayla Jackson now with it for the Tritons to Cummings, and now Mardeja Cross. To Cummings again. We'll see if she stays with the hot hand. That one just off the mark, but it's going to go over Little Priest. And Jackson will come down with that rebound, and we'll get a foul here.
And I'm a little bit surprised that Little Priest is staying in the zone defense after the hot hand for the Tritons here, as they've knocked down 6 threes in this first quarter. But it may be something where they may change it at the end of the quarter here as we're close to the quarter break, or it may be something that, they're going to ride with that and hope that the Tritons cool off, and probably expect them to cool off a little bit, because at the percentage they're shooting at, you're not going to shoot that kind of percentage all night, or at least that's what you're figuring if you're Little Priest here.
So Mardeja Cross, a 52% free throw shooter, usually the 50-50 on that shot, knocks down the first two there at the charity stripe. 30 seconds and ticking here in this first quarter as Little Priest is going to try and get some more points up on the board, see if they can close this gap before the end of the first quarter. Able to get one basket there from number 42, Shaylee Scabby.
That was a nice play there to set that up. Good dribble drive by 22, Amaya Leon, to set that play up.
A nice screen there from Collins. Isabel West with it. And they'll have a foul there, a little bit of a push. Just over 4 seconds left here in this first quarter. West will go to the line.
Amaya Mulligan in the game, number 24 for Iowa Central for the first time tonight off the timeout.
West able to get that one. We'll see how she does here. Currently shooting 65.5% on the year from the stripe. Able to knock down both of those. Little Priest with 4 seconds and running. 2 now. That one heaved up for a three-pointer. Just a little bit of an awkward shot. Kind of a toss-up over the shoulder. Doesn't quite go in there for Scabby. So Iowa Central won that first quarter with the lead against Little Priest, 28-14.
Tremendous first quarter for Iowa Central there offensively. You talk about 28 points. You're on pace to score more than 100 now. I don't expect probably that pace to continue, but a tremendous start here. And Little Priest, as the quarter continued, they kind of got in a rhythm. They got comfortable. They played a lot better. Their offense started clicking. but they went cold early, and Iowa Central was able to build a lead, and that's why they stand with that 14-point lead. And again, in the first quarter, 6 threes for Iowa Central. Of that 28 points, you're talking about 18 of it being from beyond the arc, and then a big part of the rest of it just 1 2-point shot. So it's 6 threes and pretty much free throws. So they're doing a good job of shooting the open shots, creating open shots for each other, but also attacking the basket and getting fouled and then converting at the free throw line. So good offensive basketball here from the Tritons early on.
We see the 14-point difference between the two teams here. 11 of those came at the beginning of this game, just unanswered for Iowa Central.
And that's the biggest difference of the game here, 11-0 run to open.
Engbrecht will step out to inbound for the Tritons here to start off this second quarter. Cummings will get it set up for the Tritons here at the top of the key, over to Engbrecht. Skip pass to Isabel West towards the bucket. No good on that. She'll put it back up on the offensive rebound and just hounding the glass for rebounds. So many offensive boards we've seen here at the beginning of this game.
Isabel West, all Windex team there cleaning the glass and putting it back. Made the tougher shot than the first one, actually, but converted nonetheless.
So after the bothersome defense by Kayla Jackson, that three-pointer no good, and the Tritons will come down with it. Jackson gets it over to Engbrecht in the corner. She'll put this one up. No good on that one, in and out. Cummings with it now, the other Triton with the hot hand. That one just off. And they'll have Collins for the reach over the back there.
And Iowa Central's kind of cooled off a little bit now from beyond the arc there. So Little Priest staying in that zone, kind of figuring that the percentage is going to play themselves out a little bit. And right now to start the second quarter they have.
Mayers gets it over to the left side of the key. Three-pointer there for Little Priest. Off the mark for number 13, Begay. But they're going to fight for it, and we will see a jump ball call there. So it'll go into Little Priest direction here.
Collins got stripped trying to clear the rebound there. Pretty good job by Little Priest. Active hands on the defensive end.
So just under 9 minutes left in this first half, as Little Priest driving towards the basket there. Going to get fouled, number 23, Clay. She'll get sent to the line for a couple of freebies. We'll see if she can knock him down here.
That one's against Collins, and that's foul number 2 on Cabrana Collins.
We'll see number 24 for the Tritons enter the game, Ami Milligan, along with number 4, Mardeja Cross, one of the starters for the Tritons, back in, sending Kebriana Collins to the bench.
Now, Triton's going to go small here with 4 guards. Now, shouldn't hurt them against Little Priest because Little Priest is a smaller team across the board. But interesting lineup here to go with the 4th guard, Cross, here.
Clay knocks that first free throw down for Little Priest. She's 54.5% on the year for free throws. That one no good on the second. Cross will take it down the floor. She's got Milligan and Engbrecht with her. Looked like she was going to try and get it out to Milligan, just kind of lost it in the hands as she brought it up and ends up rolling out of bounds there. And it'll head down to Little Priest end of the floor.
Another missed opportunity in transition because they did have numbers there.
Mayers waiting for some motion from the rest of her teammates here. Gets it into the left corner to Leon. Into the post to Hall. Cummings is going to end up with it for the Tritons and bring it down to their end of the floor. She's getting double teamed here. Gets it out to Milligan. Over to West. In low to Cross.
Nice move.
Going to get called for a travel there.
Oh, I don't like the call, Dad Johnson. I don't like it at all, and here's why I don't like it at all. She never established one pivot foot, okay? So when she makes that drop step spin, she's going pro hop with both feet. That's like taking both steps at one time. As long as she doesn't move off that, by letter of the law, that's not a travel. The official going to disagree there.
Three-pointer there for Leon of Little Priest. That'll close the gap a little bit, 18-30 now. Engbrecht no good on that shot. And Hall will come down with it, dump it off to Mares as she brings it down to Little Priest's end of the floor. She's going to try and get towards the basket, but kick it out to Hall. Up for three. That one off the front of the rim. And West will come up with it for the Tritons. She'll bring it down the floor to push the tempo. And then they'll slow it down a little bit on the Triton end of the floor. And that one, no interference from anybody, just a little off for a cross. So it'll end up out of bounds and come down Little Priest direction now.
32, Kayla Jackson in for Mulligan there.
Mares will bring it down the floor for Little Priest. Over to the left to Leon. Back up top. Little Priest trying to get some movement and get themselves open here. Leon. Over to the left side and now towards the right. Back out to Hall as she puts up another three-pointer. That one good. Closing the gap even more. 30-21 now.
Don't look now, but Little Priest has cut it to single digits at 9. Tritons need to answer with a bucket here.
West with a nice little runner of a shot. That one good, so she'll extend it back out to double digits.
I think Isabel heard me there and decided she's going to get the bucket here. As it had been a 7-2 run here prior to that bucket for Little Priest.
Hall with it for Little Priest. Out to Leon. Over to the right side. Back towards the top of the key. That three-pointer good for Leon. And now it'll be the Tritons calling the timeout to try and ice some shooters from Little Priest.
And that's the thing, Little Priest has caught fire, and that's the thing about the three ball. You know, you live by it and you die by it sometimes. They died by it in the first 3 minutes of the game, not able to score and got down 11-0. Now all of a sudden they're living with it and knocking it down. They've come out now, and it's a 10-4 run to open the second quarter for Little Priest. Most of it thanks to the three ball knocking it down from downtown.
Now a couple of the first shots that we saw here in the second quarter came from a couple of the hot hand shooters of Iowa Central, Jordan Engbrecht and Annie Cummings. They both were off on those three-pointers. Do you think that might have wavered their confidence in their long balls here?
I don't think it would waver your confidence so much as it would just tell you, okay, I'm maybe not on fire, so to speak. But I still think, you know, there were good shots that they took, and, you know, shooters shoot. You shoot your way in, you shoot your way out. And so I don't think if I'm Cummings and being a former player and I kind of was a shooting specialist, I never really thought about it until I missed a bunch in a row. If I miss a bunch in a row, then I'm starting to think about it. But, no, a shot in rhythm that you miss, I don't think you think twice about it.
That one off for West, the front of the rim. Cross able to chase down that rebound. Engbrecht, another three-pointer off the front of the rim. And Little Priest going to end up with that one. Begay came down with the rebound, got it to Mares, who's bringing it down the floor now. Puts up the quick three-pointer. That one off the back of the rim. Jackson will come down with the rebound and bring it down for the Tritons.
Iowa Central needs to attack here. Little Priest is still in that 1-2-2 zone. Let's go inside out and attack. There you go, Cummings.
Cummings, a nice runner attempt. Couldn't quite get it to fall. And we'll get a little bit of a push there.
That's going to stay with Iowa Central, so they get a little bit of a break here on the foul call. Could get the ball back.
That one will go against Aaliyah Clay of Little Priest. Kayla Jackson sent to rebound for Iowa Central. Out to Cummings in the corner. And out to Jackson in the corner now. Back to Cummings. Swings it over to West. And the Tritons swing it back around. Some great ball movement to set up Cummings, but not quite good on that shot. So Clay will bring it down the floor for Little Priest. Over to Mares, who drives in, gets it back to Clay. Clay with the short jump shot, able to knock that one down. They'll close the gap a little more to just 6 points now, 26-32. Iowa Central still in the lead.
Iowa Central's got to get a bucket here. Keep extending this lead. You don't want to get down into a single possession type game here.
Kayla Jackson not quite good on that three-pointer, but we see another cross offensive rebound now. West with the offensive rebound. West just about able to tip it out to Engbrecht, but no good on that.
We're going to try to double team here.
And a smart move there by Big A of Little Priest to get it off the foot of Isabel West before she got a 10-second or 5-second call down there on her end.
Iowa Central's going to have to make the bunnies here. The Triton's missing around the rim. Got to convert there. Little Priest is on fire. 12-4 run to open the second quarter.
Mayor's going to try and extend that run here with Little Priest to Leon now. And now back to Mayor's, to Hall. And just some nice handoffs outside of the arch there to try and get some movement on the defense. Clay puts up that three-pointer. Not quite good, but she'll get the foul call.
And that's going to go against Collins. That's her third foul. Coach taking a gamble to put her back in there with the two, and now she picks up the third.
So Clay on another trip to the line. So she'll see if she can knock down both of them here. Good on that first one. So she'll close the gap now to just 5, and we'll see if she can get it to 4 here on this next free throw. And she's good on that one as well. 28-32. That lead for Iowa Central just shrinking and shrinking as we move through this second quarter.
It's a 14-4 run, and the Tritons have only taken the one timeout during that run here.
Engbrecht no good on that. Collins will get the rebound and put up the first basket in a dry spell for Iowa Central. Mares will bring it down the floor for Little Priest.
Now, if I'm Little Priest, I'm going back to Clay. I'm going to go right at Collins with the 3 fouls.
Leon calls off the screen there, coming out for her. To Mayers. Now to Begay. Back to Mayers. She's got a screen there. To Leon. She puts up the three-pointer. We've seen her knock down a few. Late in the shot clock, so a smart decision, not quite good. As it goes off the front of the rim. Cross bringing it down the floor to West. West will go towards the basket, an open lane. Way to go baseline. See, she has no one in her way and take it straight to the hole there.
That's way to attack the glass here. Iowa Central at their best when they're attacking the rim, playing from the inside out.
Oh, good on that three-pointer. So now Iowa Central will bring it down to their end of the floor following that Hall three-pointer from Little Priest. Cross with it.
Little Priest has made 7 threes in the first half here.
Collins answers with another short bucket there. Mares will bring it down to the Little Priest end of the floor. Calling out Leon Clay for the screen there. Hall with it. A good couple of steps behind that three-point arch.
And a hand in her face, too. 4-3 for Hall. She's got 12.
Cummings with it. Clay puts her hands up and gets that steal. And we'll get a foul call there. Looked like it might have been a little bit of a bump on the floor.
There was a bump before the shot there. Yes, there was a little bit of contact in transition.
It looks like she's going to go to the line.
Jackson will get Collins out of there. Collins with the 3 fouls, so smart substitution here.
And they go ahead and change that. As we said, it looked like Clay got bumped on the floor there of Little Priest. As they send her to the line, they'll send her out of bounds now. Call it an on-the-floor foul as it's inbounded to Mayers. Mayers trying to find anybody open. Dumps it into Clay. She'll take it to the hoop. Little bit of a fadeaway there on that shot. Not going to be good for Clay. As Iowa Central will bring it down now under 2 minutes to their end of the floor. Engbrecht wide open in the corner. Off that side of the rim.
Triton have not made a 3 in the second quarter here after making 6 in the first.
Hall trying to get set. Intended the pass there for Leon. She was going to screen for Hall. So just some miscommunication will lead to a fast break and bucket for Iowa Central. Engbrecht puts in that layup.
And a good pass from Cross on the transition there.
Leon puts up that three. Looked like it might roll in, but decided to bounce out. So now Iowa Central will bring it back down on another fast break. A nice pass and vision there from Cross to see West. And West puts it up off the right side of the glass for a bucket.
Keep attacking the rim here. It's working.
Mares no good on that shot. Looked like she might have been trying to draw some contact there. Iowa Central will bring it down. Cross calls for it in the post. Not quite good on that shot. 40 seconds in running now here in this first half. And pass to Leon towards the right of the arch. Tries to put that one on Engbrecht with a block for Iowa Central.
Engbrecht said, get that shot out of here.
Cummings trying to take this all on her own through a triple team. Finally decides to pass it up there. We're going to go ahead and get a call. Looked like we might have had a bump there by Begay.
And I'm not sure the Little Priest bench there, coach over there for Little Priest, he doesn't like the call. I'm really not sure why, because two things. It was an obvious bump. Two is they don't call that bump. It's probably a layup because it's 3-on-1 after that. So
yeah, it looked like we might have had Begay over there running some of that amusement park armbar defense where you just try and let them stick out that arm and they go ahead and pass through.
Amusement park armbar.
You never heard that one?
I have not heard that one. That's a good one.
So the Tritons, with just about half a second separating the game clock and shot clock, Cummings able to draw that foul there from Clay of Little Priest.
Now, Little Priest, of course, with some fouls to give here. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to give the fouls so that Iowa Central cannot get a shot off here at the end of the half. So pretty smart strategy here at the end of the half.
Shot clock going to be shut off here. 5.7 seconds left in this first half. Cross with it. She'll take it towards the hoop. No good on that layup. West tried to toss it right back. No good on that. So won't have a shot right before the buzzer, but Iowa Central going to go into the half with the lead 42-34. Not quite the 14-point lead we saw for Iowa Central, but a lead nonetheless heading into the half.
No, Little Priest actually outscored the Tritons in the second quarter 20-14. They're starting to close the gap. At one point, closed it to 6 points, but then Iowa Central started to attack the rim a little bit, and that's what you do. Yeah, you hit a lot of threes in the first quarter. That's great. But when you see that has kind of swung to where the shots aren't falling as well, you've got to start to attack again. And so they were able to do that late in the half, but they waited a little while before they were able to do that, but got on a run there at the end of the half after Little Priest opened on a 14-4 run to open the second quarter to climb back in this game. And Little Priest is not done. They're not going anywhere. Triton's going to have to put them away because they're not going to go away here in the second half.
I was about to say that might make or break this game here, as you said earlier, being able to tell when you're not knocking those shots down and saying, okay, we need to adjust here, get a different plan of attack, and either take it into the basket or we're still knocking down those shots, so we'll keep putting them up.
And that's the one thing, as a coach, you try to impress upon your players and drill into them. But at the JUCO level, where you have just freshmen and sophomores, you don't have juniors and seniors, you don't have upperclassmen, sometimes that's hard. One of the hardest things being a former coach that there is to teach a young player is shot selection. What's a good shot, and when is a good shot, and when is a good shot actually a bad shot. Some of that can be hard to teach, and it takes some time. And at the JUCO level, that's one of the things that you always see is an issue for coaches, and they're always trying to work on.
So as you've seen and heard, we've had a great first half of action here in Hodges Fieldhouse between Little Priest Tribal College and Iowa Central Community College. Score at halftime, 42-34. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for a little more of a first half wrap-up and a little bit of what we expect to see in that second half here in Hodges. But until then, we'll be right back here on the Triton Nation Network. We're back here on the Triton Nation Network just before the start of our second half, about a minute 20 left in halftime here in Hodges Fieldhouse, with the Iowa Central women leading against the Little Priest Tribal College Warriors here. The score at halftime, 42-34, saw a little bit of a flip of the script when we headed into the second quarter. First quarter, lights out shooting from Iowa Central. Little Priest started to drop some three-pointers and get themselves on the board at the end of that first quarter, but score was 28-14, I believe, heading into that second quarter. And then Little Priest started to come out and hit some long balls and closed it to an 8-point gap here. As I said, 42-34 the score.
Well, Little Priest got off to a 14-4 run to open the second quarter and started to close the gap. And they're starting to shoot the ball with a little bit of confidence here. They made 7 threes here. 8 threes in the first half. And of those 8, 5 of them came in the second quarter. So they're shooting the ball a little better as the game went on because they were ice cold, as frigid as the Iowa weather in January is at this point in the early going, but was able to kind of get going and get in a rhythm, and now they've closed the gap. And Tritons have a game on their hands here. For the Tritons, it's all about the first few minutes of this half. I think the first 3 or 4 minutes is going to really tell the story and set the tone for the second half. I think the Tritons need to continue to be aggressive and attack the rim against Little Priest here.
And it looks like out on the floor we have our same starting 5 that we had for Iowa Central. Number 4, Mardeja Cross. Number 12, Annie Cummings. Number 20, Jordan Engbrecht. 22, Aaliyah Hull. And then number 32, Kayla Jackson. As Jackson puts up that three-pointer, not quite good on that, but a rebound by Jordan Engbrecht. And just about hauled in for a second offensive rebound for the Tritons, but no good there, as we've got a nice pass out and quick fast break bucket there. Finished off by number 23, Aaliyah Clay.
Clay running rim to rim there and just outran the defender.
It looks like we've got our same starting 5 out there for Little Priest Tribal College as well, as that one's going to get knocked out of bounds and go down Little Priest Tribal College's direction. But as I was starting to say, same starting 5 in this second half for Little Priest as well. Number 3, Cheney Hall. Number 11, Naomi Mares. 13, Kaylee Begay. 22, Amaya Leon, and number 23, Aaliyah Clay. As Mares is going to take it into the lane here. Toss that one up. No good. Hull will come down with the rebound. Cummings will bring it down to Iowa Central's end of the floor. Slow down the pace just a little bit. A nice cut there by Mardeja Cross. No good, but Hull will pull down the rebound. No good on that second chance attempt.
In the early going, Iowa Central ice cold. They missed 5 right at the rim here.
Aaliyah Hull was tearing across trying to get that block there, but no good, as that one will go in for Little Priest.
Kaylee Begay with the bucket there. Begay averaging 12. That's her first bucket of the game.
Hull looked like she was thinking about the 3, but no good. Takes it in. Hesitation might have thrown her off a little bit on that outside shot and just misses that one. As Leon gets it, cuts toward the basket, a nice dump into Clay. Beautiful bounce pass that ends up in a bucket for Clay.
And it's a 6-0 run here to open the half for Little Priest.
Cummings with it now. Into Cross. Cross taking it into the lane. A nice jump stop. Puts that one off the glass and good to prevent the tie-up for Little Priest, extending the Iowa Central lead to 4.
Cross first points since the first quarter here.
Begay will take that one in. That one a three-pointer. No good for Hall. But Clay will come back up with it and get it back down to a 1-bucket deficit. Annie Cummings bringing it down for Iowa Central. To Hull. Back to Cummings. Down to Engbrecht in the corner. Into a cutting Hull. No good. So Hall will bring it down, pass it up to Leon. And that one looked like it might have been off the foot, but not before we get a little bit of a push.
Little Priest has come all the way back to cut this one to a 2-point deficit. And all the pressure now on Iowa Central. Little Priest is playing with a lot of confidence at this point and has an 8-2 run going to open the half.
We see a couple of subs come in for the Tritons. 34, Isabel Weston. 50, Cabriana Collins. Clay with it now for Little Priest, taking it towards the hoop. And we get it back out behind the arch. Now with Begay. Over to Leon. Now towards the corner to Hall. Hall, we saw knocked on a few three-pointers in that first half. No good on that one as it bounces off, hits the shot clock, so it'll be called out of bounds, dead ball. And Jackson will be set to inbound here to Cummings for Iowa Central.
It looked like Cheney Hall rushed that one a little bit and really had plenty of time, but rushed that one, and I think that's what caused the miss there.
So Jackson with it right now. A nice break up there by Leon before West could get the ball out of the air. And the Tritons will end up with it either way, but able to break the momentum there, Little Priest is.
I want to see the Tritons go inside here, maybe go into Collins, see if they can get her going, establish something at the rim. But more so, of more importance would be finish at the rim. They're getting the ball at the rim, finish.
And just as you say that, we see Collins cut towards the basket. No good on the shot, but she'll get a couple attempts at the free throw line after the foul. That foul will go against Hall, her third foul. We'll see if Collins will be able to make good on these two shots. No good on that first attempt off the back iron. We'll see if she can compensate and get this one in.
Collins in foul trouble in the first half, had the 3 fouls, so sat with the 2 fouls for quite a while there, but was effective in her minutes when she was on the floor.
So Collins 1 for 2 on that trip to the line. Going to keep it at a 1-possession lead, 45-42, as Clay puts one up, and she'll put it to just a 1-point deficit now. Little Priest down 44-45 against Iowa Central.
Little Priest has scored 10 points in the second half here, and 8 of them from Clay.
We see Collins get that shot through, extend it back to 3 points.
It's going to be important to try to keep her on the floor, keep going to her. She got the 3 fouls. Now, I would like to see a switch on defense and have somebody else guard Clay, because Clay's been getting off here offensively, and Collins has the 3 fouls here.
So now Mares with it. They'll try and stay in this back and forth or see if they can take the lead or tie it up. Hall not quite good on that one, a deflating air ball. Cross will be set to pass it in here to Cummings. Cummings bringing it down the floor with Cross to her side. Gets it over to Jackson in the corner.
Wide open.
Not quite good on that attempt. It'll get poked out. Collins will come up with it as she gets there first.
That was a good job by Isabel West. Be active on the glass.
West out to Cross. She takes it to the basket. And West will get the rebound. Attempt to put it back up, and she'll get fouled, so she'll go to the line for a couple of freebies.
A good move by Cross, just couldn't finish there. Went with the right hand reverse on the left side. I kind of feel like, okay, you had the momentum going left, just use the left hand right there. It's probably a little easier. You only get 2 points for that, no matter how hard you make it. You don't get extra points for degree of difficulty. This isn't gymnastics. It's basketball. Take it up with the left hand and finish it.
We see Aaliyah Hull coming in the game for Collins, number 22 for the Tritons. Clay will get to that rebound first. It'll come down Little Priest's direction to Leon. And back to Begay, who will put that one up. Bounces around a bit, and it'll go through. So that'll be good enough to tie up the game. First time Iowa Central has been without the lead in this game.
13-5, Little Priest run here.
Hull going to give back the lead in this little back and forth here, as Little Priest will come back down, try to either tie it up or take their first lead of the game. Mares with it, taking her time. Gets a screen on both sides, takes it from Clay, and now with Begay. Over to Hall. Hall was thinking about the 3, but decides to get out of it. Leon with it now. Regains her handle on it. And we'll see a foul there from Cross, maybe a little too tight on the defense there.
Yeah, a little bit of a bump there.
We'll see Jordan Engbrecht check into the game now sending out Kayla Jackson of the Tritons. Leon will be set to inbound it for Little Priest. Gets it into Mares as she sets up her teammates here. Takes it to the hole, passes it out to Clay. That one no good, and Cummings will come down with a rebound. And she will get it into the corner to Hull. Not across at the block. A nice pass out by Engbrecht there as she was at the high elbow, gets it down to West, and she draws the foul.
Yeah, good ball movement. What a share of the ball there by the Tritons, and a good pass from Engbrecht to West to set up this trip to the line here.
Stevie Peters checks into the game for Little Priest, sending Cheney Hall to the bench.
And it's a short rotation for Little Priest. They've only played about 7 players here tonight. We'll see if that kind of takes its toll late in the game.
West no good on that second attempt, but Hull able to get the rebound. Just about from the same distance as the free throws. West puts that one up, no good, and she'll send herself back to the free throw line now. A great job by Hull to keep the play alive and get that offensive rebound off the second attempt.
Tritons have made a living on the glass here tonight, and that's been a big part of the ability for them and why they've had the lead for most of this game.
West no good on that first attempt. We'll see if she can knock through the second attempt and make it a 2-possession game. And she gets it, extends it out to the 4-point lead, 47-51. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. As Mares gets it to Leon. Tries to take it in, passes it out to Begay, who gets it back out to Mares. Puts that one up, and she will draw the foul there as she takes it to the hole.
2 free throws upcoming for Mares. And, you know, the Tritons have to think in the back of their mind here there's been some missed opportunities. They end up losing this game. The missed free throws and the easy misses around the rim going to come back to kind of haunt them here.
I was going to say coming into the game, usually looking to shoot around 70 or 80% at that line. They've got a couple of players over 70. That'd be Aaliyah Hull at 73% and Justice Crooks at about 73. But Crooks out of the game here for the Tritons as she's had an injury.
And they've played without her the last couple of games. One on the road at Southwestern without her and lost here to Kirkwood on Wednesday without her of last week.
Mardesia Cross with it for the Tritons. Takes it into the lane. Gets it to a cutting Engbrecht. A nice job on the back door there to get that layup good and extend the lead out to 5 now for the Tritons.
Good job by Cross to attack the defense there.
Mayers with it now to the corner to Leon. Into the post now. And that one good by Peters. She gets that one in on the block.
First bucket of the night for Stevie Peters.
West with it. Looked at the 3, decided to pass into the corner to Cross. Will cut towards the basket. Ends up swinging around to Cummings. Cummings good on that 3-point attempt. We saw her with a hot hand in the first quarter.
That's our first bucket since the first quarter.
And we'll get a timeout from Little Priest with 2 minutes, 40 seconds left here in this third quarter.
And a 56-50 Triton lead. Little Priest has been game here, and they've really come out in the third quarter and been able to get some momentum going here, and they actually have outscored the Tritons by a count of 16-14, but they opened on a 13-5 run. Good job by the Tritons of responding to that run, and you see the difference has been Mardesia Cross has been aggressive in getting to the rim, putting the ball on the deck and going to the rim. And the Tritons have the advantage there because Little Priest, as good a team as they are, they're small. So you get an opportunity, swing the ball side to side. You see the crease, attack the rim. That's what Cross has been able to do. And she's been able to set up other people by drawing the defense and dishing it over.
So we'll see Little Priest here start with it after that timeout. Clay with it right now. Out behind the arch now towards the right of the key. Mares trying to take it into the lane here. Kicks it out to Clay. Little bit of a fake, takes it in. Not quite good on that one. A couple bounces on the rim. West bringing it up. Passes it up to Jackson. who gets it to West. Now back to Jackson. Cross with it now. Into West in the lane. And not quite good on that shot, but she'll head to the line for a couple of free throws.
Now, Isabel has struggled at the line here, and this is where it becomes a mental thing. You just have to kind of overcome that mentally, and that block and just go up there and shoot the ball with confidence here.
And that one going to go off the back of the rim on the first attempt. We'll see if she can recalculate and knock this second one in. Second attempt up and in. So she'll go 1 for 2 on that trip. Mares will bring it down for Little Priest and get it to Leon as she sets up her team. Screen from Peters. Leon doesn't take it. Gets it to Clay. Takes it baseline. She's good on the layup. Jackson will bring it down for Iowa Central as Collins heads to the scorer's table to check in. Engbrecht with it. Taking it in. Out to West. She tried to take it in. Couldn't quite get anywhere. So they'll swing it around to Engbrecht and now to Cross. Cross takes it into the lane. Able to get herself open and put that one up. No good. Hull comes up with the offensive rebound. Couple of bounces on that one as well. No good. And West tried to put it back up. Had it too low and got it stripped. So now Mares will bring it down for Little Priest. Tried to make something happen on the fast break. Not quite there. And Engbrecht will get a steal for Iowa Central now.
4-on-2.
Engbrecht takes it all the way. Not good. But the height differential there for Hull and West. They get the offensive rebound, and Hull puts that one in on the second chance effort. Mares will bring it down.
The floor there by Hull. You never want to assume the player's going to make the easy one on the run out. Always run behind them.
And that one not quite good. Had the travel there. As we have some substitutions for Iowa Central. Kebriana Collins and Annie Cummings in as Jackson and Hull will head to the bench for the Tritons. Cummings will bring it down the floor for Iowa Central. To West. And now back to Cummings. We're going to have a little bit of a push.
It's going to be illegal screen against Engbrecht. Engbrecht never got set there on that screen attempt. They were trying to run a flare to the weak side for Cummings to free her up for the three. Engbrecht never got her feet set on the screen, and that was an easy call for the official right there in front of him.
Kayla Jackson checks into the game for Annie Cummings of the Tritons. Cross down, trying to put some pressure on a press here. Broken through by Little Priest, and now Clay taking it in towards the basket. No good on that, and we'll get a push. Clay will go ahead and head to the line here for Little Priest.
All right, at this point, if you're the Tritons, you've got to figure out that Amelia Clay is not going to take the jump shot on the first move right there. She may take the short jumper on the baseline here and there, but the first move is usually the ball fake for her and then that quick first step. So you got to stay on the floor and position yourself ready, make her shoot over top of you.
Kebriana Collins now in some deeper foul trouble as she just drew her, or was attempting on her fourth there.
And that's going to hurt. Iowa Central here shortens the rotation because they won't go back with Collins, I'm sure, till somewhere around the 5-minute mark.
Cummings with it, gets it to Cross. Now to Jackson. Back to Cross. Cummings puts that one up. West gets a rebound as it just gets a little bit of a tick off of the rim there, and she's able to get it back up for the last basket of the third quarter there. Iowa Central with a lead of 8, 61-53 against Little Priest Tribal College here after that third quarter. And as we said, Clay has just been a great strength for Little Priest here. She's done a great job of taking shorter jump shots, and if the jump shot option isn't there, she'll take it in, try and draw that foul, or just get a nice layup off the glass.
Of their 19 third quarter points, Amelia Clay responsible for 11 of them. So you've got to do something on her defensively, kind of contain and slow her down. And first things first, the coaching staff over there, if I'm one of the coaches on the bench, I've seen that ball fake about as many times as I'm going to see it tonight, and I'm preaching that. Look, stay at home on that ball fake. Make her go ahead and shoot over your extended hand there and see if she can knock it down that way. We know that she can use that ball fake, get to the lane, get to the rim, finish, or get a foul, and then finish at the free throw line. We've seen that, but we haven't seen her shoot contested shots over bigger defenders. Let's see that in the fourth quarter.
One big saving grace I think we could see for Little Priest here is just boxing out on defense. Iowa Central has had so many rebounds, and I understand the size differential, of course, with Aaliyah Hull and Isabel West, especially when they're both out there on the floor. But getting those box outs, even if you're not getting the rebound, you're at least getting an over-the-back call or something.
Another thing to that, though, one of the detriments of playing zone defense is your defensive rebounding assignments, because you're playing zone, so you're blocking out at times an area instead of a person, whereas man-to-man is pretty easy to know what your block-out assignment is. That's always a detriment to playing zone defense.
So Begay with it. She gets it to Leon. She couldn't quite find anything. Trying to get in the lane. She'll get it to Peters. Trying to get it into Clay. A nice bounce pass between the legs of Hull, and that'll end in an Aaliyah Clay basket.
Clay with a game-high 18 here.
Engbrecht with it right now for the Tritons. To West towards the corner. Now to Cummings, right side of the arch. To Engbrecht. Into West. Back out to Engbrecht. She'll head fake on the three and get it to Cummings. Now to Cross. 5 seconds on the shot clock. And that one going to end up out of bounds. They'll send it down Little Priest's direction after a little bit of chaos towards that baseline. Mares will inbound it to Begay as Mares brings it down the floor now. Mares with it, giving her team some time to set up. Clay on the left side of the arch. Out to Mayers. Mayers going to take that three. That one goes in after a friendly bounce off the rim and backboard. We'll be up now. 58-61 now. Iowa Central, a single possession lead, 3 points. So Little Priest could get their second tie-up of the game here and see if they could finally put themselves on top for the first time in this game, possibly give themselves some momentum heading into the end of this game.
Iowa Central's going to have to take the ball to the bucket here down the stretch. You know, that's one of the things I feel like is a big part of this game for them, and kind of a big key to a victory for the Tritons will be taking the ball to the rim here and then also finishing at the rim and defending Little Priest, specifically defending Amelia Clay, who's got a game-high 19 here. So if you're the Tritons, attack down the stretch here.
See a great trait from Clay. They're a great leader as she pulls in her team, I imagine, telling them, hey, guys, we're not out of this yet. Plenty of time. Just under 8:45 left in this fourth quarter. We've tied the game up before. Let's tie it up and go ahead and take the lead here for ourselves as we head towards the end here. Cross another, trying to get the up and under. Not quite good on that. Engbrecht, top of the key.
Now the shot clock did not reset because Cross's shot did not hit the rim here. Tritons have to be aware.
We'll get a foul call here. Looks like it might be on Peters again, as she was lining up against Hull there, just trying to get in front of there.
Hull did a good job of getting position down low there.
West inbounds to Cummings, who dumps it down to Cross. Tries to get it over Clay there, not quite good on that one. So Begay will bring it down, fire it over to Leon in the corner, and she's got an open three off the side of the backboard on that one, no good. West will bring it down now. Kicks it out to Cummings. Now with Engbrecht, who drives into the lane, gets it to West. She tries for the reverse. No good on it, but she'll go to the line for a couple of shots.
There you go. Attack the basket. Good things will happen. Isabel West now going to go to the line for two. And Cabrana Collins back in with the 4 fouls here at the 7:50 mark. So going to roll the dice here.
West on her last trip was 1 for 2. She'll knock down that first one. See if she can get the two-piece here at the line. This one up. No good off the back of the rim. West trying to fight for it there, but ends up with a little bit of a foul. They'll actually put that one against Cummings, it looked like. A little bit of a reach in. So Leon will bring this one down. Amaya Leon of Little Priest. Gets it to Mayers. She'll try and take it into the lane here. Gets fouled. We'll see if she'll head to the line here, if they called that one on the floor. It looked like she was in her shooting motion, so they'll go ahead and send her to the line for a couple of free throws. And that one goes through for Mayers. 62-59. Now back to a one-possession game. That second one knocked through as well. 2 for 2. West inbounds it to Cummings. She'll bring it down for the Tritons here.
Looks like this was going to go down to the wire here. Double team for Little Priest there in the foul.
So now Iowa Central will take this one out. West set to inbound. Engbrecht with it. Little bit of a stutter step there. Catches the defense off guard. Now with West to Engbrecht. Gets it into Collins. Just about good. Rolls off the rim. Cummings will go for the three-point attempt. That one rolls around and out. Collins with back-to-back offensive rebounds there.
Collins will not be denied there on the offensive glass. All Windex team cleaning the glass up and getting after it, Cabrera Collins. And to me, that's why her being on the floor is so important for the Tritons. And we've seen a little bit of a difference in them in terms of energy on the glass and being able to convert around the rim here when she's on the floor. So I like the move of going back to her. If it's me, though, I'm going to be careful about who I match her up on defensively. I'm not going to match her up on Clay because Clay has been kind of the main weapon. So you got to be careful here, and if you get a chance to go offense to defense here, possession to possession, you probably want to do that. Use Collins for offense, get her out on defense when you can, and then back in on offense. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see how Coach manages it, and he takes her out on a defensive possession here. So smart coaching there. That's a Rob Jones certified coaching move off of the timeout there.
We'll get Little Priest to inbound here. Just about 7 minutes left in the game. As Mayers brings it down, calls that a play. A double screen set up. Takes it right by Clay's screen. Engbrecht will come down with the rebound for Iowa Central as Cummings brings it down the floor. Triton's getting out quick here. Engbrecht with it. She'll get it to West. Back to Engbrecht. We'll get it over to Cummings. Into cross now to West.
Nice pass.
Some great ball movement there by Iowa Central results, and a nice short shot for Isabel West, able to knock it down very easily as we get a full timeout from Little Priest Tribal College.
On my stat sheet over here, I almost gave the bucket to Cross because she's the one who really made the play, even though Isabel West finished it there. A beautiful high-low and a nice pass looking diagonal there. The last offensive set we saw for Little Priest where they brought the two posts up high for the double high ball screen, and then they have the wings go down into the corners, and you've got the point guard there on top with the double high screen. Commonly referred to as horns because the Texas Longhorns under Rick Barnes used to run that for so long, and what that does is it gives you options. It really spreads the floor. And defensively, if the other team's got shooters and they're parked in the corner and they got a point guard who can handle that and read that screen, if that point guard turns the corner and you help, that's a wide open kick to the corner for a wide open three there. If you don't help, that's a drive to the rim, and that's what Little Priest got. But fortunately for the Tritons, it was a miss on that drive.
We've got both teams coming back on after that Little Priest full timeout. Begay will be set to inbound here as she gets it into Mares. Mares sends it over to the right to Clay. She'll get it into the lane here. Short jump shot off the back of the rim, no good. Peters was fighting for it, but Iowa Central will come down with it, with Cummings getting it to West now. Back to Cummings. To Engbrecht. Looked like she was going to try and send it into cross, but Peters covers up with the defense. Engbrecht off of her foot, they call it, so it'll go Little Priest direction now.
Good hands there for Little Priest defensively. Looked like Peters was in there to poke that one away.
Coach over there telling her she needs to make sure she's got it up in the air, because you hold it down like that when you go up for any shot or even bring it down after a rebound, you're just giving it for the defense to try and tear away there.
Absolutely.
So Mares will have it and get it to Begay. Now to Leon. Over to Clay. She'll get it into her favorite short jump stop spot. Not quite good on that one. Bounces around on the rim. Cummings will bring it down to the Tritons' end of the floor. Cross trying to call for it at the high elbow. Engbrecht takes it in, kicks it out to Hull. Now to Cross at the free throw line, who will shoot that jumper, and she'll knock it down, extending the lead to 8 now. Mares fires it up to Leon. Takes the three-pointer, short on that one. West will bring it down. Fires it up to Cross. Nice vision by Mares there. She goes ahead and sends that one back in.
Mares did a tremendous job to read that play there and almost came away with the steal as a result.
Peters heads out of the game there as we have number 3, Cheney Hall, check back into the game for Little Priest.
Hall gives them another shooter on the floor here.
Cross gets it to West towards the basket. No good. Gets her own rebound even closer and knocks that one down. Lead at 10 now. Back to double digits for Iowa Central. Hall gets it to Begay. Back out to Hall as she puts up the shot. As you said, another shooter. We see it in action right there. Knocks down the three-pointer.
She hit 4 of them in the first half. She's got 5 of them total for a total of 15 points.
Cross gets it to West towards the corner. She knocks down a three-pointer of her own, getting it back to that double-digit deficit. Fired up to Hall. And Clay, the easy layup right there.
Love how Clay runs the floor. She runs rim to rim hard every time in transition.
Engbrecht with it outside the arch. West trying to get closer to the basket, gets it to Cross, who's able to knock down a nice little lay off the glass bucket.
Good aggressive take, power move off the pro hop for Cross.
Mares into the corner to Hall. Hall for another 3. Short on that one.
Good job of defending that by Cross. Got a hand in her face.
3-on-3 as all teams catch back up. Cummings able to knock down the 3 before anybody gets back out on her.
And all of a sudden the Tritons have opened the lead back up to 13 now.
Mares with it right now. Puts up a 3 off the back of the rim as Hull comes down with it. Gets it to Cummings. She'll slow the pace just a little. Just about 3 minutes left here in the game. Iowa Central trying to put a stamp of approval on this one and walk away with the win. And Cross's basket will try and help them get that much closer now with the 15-point lead.
7-0 run and a timeout, Little Priest.
Try and slow them down a little bit here. Keep themselves in this game. Just under 3 minutes left. Little Priest is going to try and have to play with as little or any mistakes here in the rest of this game.
Well, and the thing is, they don't have any timeouts either. So that's their last one. I know they're trying to stop the momentum. You've got to feel, if you're Little Priest, that this one's kind of getting away from you. And that evidence of that would be that run for Iowa Central that they're on now. It was an 8-point lead, and now it's a 15-point lead. It's a 7-0 run, and a big part of that is just being aggressive here. Mardisha Cross, I like what she's doing. She's saying, I'm going to go to the rim, and I'm going to dare you to stop me, and I'm going to keep going until you stop me from getting there, and they've not had an answer for it here late in the fourth quarter.
Mayor's with it now for Little Priest. She'll try and stop this run and keep her and her team in this one. Begay with it. Now to Leon. Hall cuts to the basket there. As Leon will try and get it into the lane. She gets it to Begay. And looked like she might have had a reach in on her.
I think it's going to be on Cummings. It will be.
So that will send Begay to the line.
Tritons with offensive balance again here tonight. They've got 4 players in double figures, actually 5. Cross is at double figures now. Cummings, Isabel West with a huge game, probably a career high of 25. And Cabrana Collins also in double figures with 11 here.
Begay goes 1 for 1 at the line there as Cross tries to send that one up to Engbrecht. Couldn't quite get her hands on it, and that one will end up out of bounds, excuse me. And Begay will inbound it to Mares as she brings it down the floor. Slower tempo. Over to Clay. We'll bring it to the top of the key. And it looked like we might have had a foul there against Iowa Central.
And that's Collins, so that's 5. And I thought it was a little ticky-tack, little touch. What I used to say when I was a coach, the great Bill Raftery used to say as a color commentator, he would say a little nickel dimer on a cheap call. Well, my interpretation of that was dollar menu. That's what I used to say all the time as a coach. Come on, ref, that's a dollar menu call. Come on now. And I kind of feel like that. Cabrina got her 5th one on a little bit of a dollar menu call.
So after she's sent out, we'll see Hull come into the game. Iowa Central with it now. Little Priest trying to put on a little bit of a press, but broken pretty easily there by a team of Tritons. Cross into Hull. A nice find by Cross, but that one doesn't quite go in for Hull. As Mares brings it down, trying to push the tempo before the Tritons could get set up, but they get into their stance here. Leon puts that one up for 3. Kind of a quicker shot, no good. But it'll stay on Little Priest's end.
And on the Tritons' previous possession there, all the old school folks are watching on YouTube, and they're saying, use the glass, Aaliyah Hall, use the glass there. I know my dad, every time I would miss a shot like that, that would be what my dad would always say, use the glass, boy, use the glass.
That one, no good, but will have a foul drawn, and it'll send Amaya Leon to the line for a couple of free throws here. That one good for Amaya. That one good as well. She'll go 2 for 2 on that trip at the line. Cummings is going to bring it down with just under a minute and a half to go here in the game. Cross, slowing down the tempo a little bit. Maybe going to try and work some clock as we get towards the end of this game. And the Tritons holding on to their 12-point lead. West back out to Cross. Engbrecht and now to Cummings. She puts up the 3 off the back of the rim. And Amaya will come up with that one. She'll send it up to Mares. A good find. Not quite good for Mares. So Cross will bring it down to Iowa Central's end of the floor. Get it to West. And she'll knock that one in from just outside the lane. And Cummings comes up with the quick defense. No good. But that one not going to be hauled in by Little Priest. She'll get another attempt. And no good on that one. Able to chew up some clock, however. Around 35 seconds now left in the game as Maris puts up a three-pointer. No good on that.
And go ahead and salt this one away if you're Iowa Central here. Little exclamation point for Aaliyah Hall. And that's going to do it.
Mayor's bringing it down for Little Priest. Over to Amaya. She takes it in. That one rolls around a little and goes in. Cross with it. And we'll see the Tritons.
Just dribble it out. Dribble it out.
Cummings gets it on her end of the floor. She'll work on her handles a little bit as she tries to wind down the clock. 84-70 will be our final score. The Tritons walking away with the win. A great showing for both teams. Pretty close throughout the majority of the game there until our last few minutes in that fourth quarter when the Tritons started to run away a little bit more.
It was a game of runs back and forth, and the Tritons answered the call. Every time that Little Priest would go on a run and you'd think, uh-oh, they're going to turn the corner, the Tritons would answer the call, and they did that by, we talked all broadcast long, all game long about attacking the rim, and they did that in the fourth quarter probably better than they did at any point earlier in the game, and I thought that was a big difference. I loved what Mardisha Cross is doing, attacking the rim and then distributing the basketball. And how about Isabel West? I'm sure has to be a career high. We'd have to look, up the records here. I don't have the records in front of me, but 27 points for Isabel West tonight and 5 Triton players in double figures. So nice balance across the board. A good win right here at Hodges Fieldhouse for the Triton women's team. And
I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw some of the Triton women walking around campus with some squeegees the way they were cleaning the glass throughout that game. Just an insane amount of not only rebounds but offensive rebounds that just gave them second and third and fourth chance efforts that I think ended up making most of the difference here in that game, along with some of that great shooting that we saw in that first quarter.
Yeah, they really shot the ball well and set the tone in the first quarter. And I like the fact that the shots, weren't falling after that, and they kind of changed mentality and started going attacking the rim, and I thought that was a big difference in the second half. Outscored Little Priest in the second half here by a count of 42 to 36, so a pretty good job of getting after it in the second half for Iowa Central.
As we said earlier, most of the game just changing of the guards throughout those runs. Started off with that 11-0 run and just saw many more to come throughout the game. Little Priest just not quite able to get themselves on top on the scoreboard. Ended up tying up the game, I believe, a couple of different times throughout, but just couldn't quite get themselves on top and get that momentum shift.
It's that 11-0 run to open for Iowa Central, then a 14-4 run to open the second quarter for Little Priest. Iowa Central then, Little Priest then would go on a run at the beginning of the second half, 8-2, but Iowa Central closed the third quarter on a run of 14-6, and I thought that was kind of the answer there and really kind of cemented the momentum that the Tritons had.
So we started off with a great game here in Hodges Fieldhouse between the women's teams of Iowa Central and Little Priest Tribal, ending up 84-70. Iowa Central walking away with that 14-point win. As you can see, we've got the men's teams from both Iowa Central and Little Priest now warming up on the floor. We'll be back in about 15 minutes to give you a little bit of a pregame look at both of those teams and give you a little heads up on some of the action we'll see to come here.
Before we do that, let's go through the final numbers here in the scoring column, and we'll do that with Iowa Central here. 84 total for them. Mardisha Cross with 10, Annie Cummins with 17, Jordan Ingbrecht with 10, Isabel West with 27 to lead the way, Cabrana Collins with 11, so 5 Tritons in double figures, Aaliyah Hall with 4 here as well for a total of 84. And then for Little Priest, Cheney Hall with 15, Naomi Mayers with 11, Amaya Leon with 12, 2 for Stevie Peters, 2 for Shaylee Scabby, and 6 for Kaylee Begay. And leading the way for Little Priest was Amelia Clay with 23. So a pretty good battle here. Little Priest, nothing to hang their head about, but ultimately Tritons with too much around the glass, and I thought that was a big difference, as you pointed out. The offensive rebounding huge for Iowa Central here tonight.
So some of the individual numbers there again one more time. Our final score, Iowa Central 84, Little Priest 70 at the end of our women's game. We'll be back in about 15 minutes for some pregame of the men's. So make sure you stay tuned right here on the Triton Nation Network. And we're back here at Hodges Field House just about a minute before they start with the pre-game festivities, we'll call them, lineups and such, before the men's game between Iowa Central and Little Priest Tribal. We had a heck of a game between the women's teams. Went pretty close down to the wire until Iowa Central kind of started to pull away in that last 3-4 minutes of the game. But a great way to start off a night of basketball.
Yeah, Iowa Central women taking care of business. Isabel West with a huge game, 27. Now they've set the table for the men here. Let's see if the Tritons can pull off the home sweep here on Dennis Pilcher Court here at Hodges Fieldhouse.
And Little Priest Tribal coming in here through 13 games. They're 4-9. Men's basketball for Iowa Central coming in here 6-10 through 16 games. They came off just the same as the women's team. They beat Southwestern Community College. The men beating them 83-78.
This Little Priest team, they're going to start small. They're going to really start a guard-heavy lineup, really 5 guards or 4 guards and a big man here, and they're going to try to get up and down the floor and score a lot of points. They average 83, but they give up about 93 here. So it'll be interesting to see if Iowa Central can kind of keep this game at their pace. Whoever dictates the tempo, I think, has a major advantage in this ball game tonight.
And, Rob, we were talking a little bit before we came on for pregame about how this could be a little bit different of an Iowa Central team than we saw before that winter break. A couple of new faces. Omar Vargas we haven't quite seen yet, hasn't played, but we did see Zach Folks.
Yes.
Who has been – he's kind of established himself as a shooter.
He has. In 2 games, he's got a combined 31, 16, and 15, 7 of 12 from 3 in his 2 games, and he gives them extra firepower off the bench and another dimension. He stretches the defense, and that's something the Tritons can definitely use, and he's making an impact early on. Starting 5 here, first for Iowa Central, R.S. Abdul Nasser, number 2, Jeremiah Hurst, number 14, the forward out of Bessemer, Alabama. Andrew Gibb, the hometown hero out of St. Edmund High School here in Fort Dodge, number 22. Javante Keck, number 30, and Marquise Henry, number 40. And for Little Priest, they'll start Keyston Hanks, 0. They'll start Deshaun Brown. Look out for him, number 1, averaging 14 a game. Geo Clark, number 2, the big man in the middle. They'll start Travis Woods, number 15, as well. And then they'll start 34, DeQuante Fields, their leading scorer at 18 a game.
Clark and Keck set to jump here. Iowa Central coming down with the ball after the tip. Keck into Hurst. And they're going to call Hurst with the foul. Travel. And Fields inbounds it to number 1, Brown. Brown over to Hanks. And back. Now over to Woods. And back. As Brown works his way to the right. A little bit slower of a pace to start off here for Little Priest. As Fields puts that one up and in, first points of the game going to Priest as he puts that one through on a beautiful short little jumper.
Yeah, good job of Fields posting up, getting possession there.
Gibb off on that three-pointer, but Keck will come up with the rebound and draw a foul from Hanks. He didn't quite like that call, but it'll be called nonetheless.
Iowa Central a little impatient on that attempt there from Gibb. That's not really his game. I'm sure Coach Hill would rather take the ball to the bucket there.
Abdel Nasser into Keck. A nice shot over defender goes through for the first points for Iowa Central.
Good to see Javante in there using his back to the basket game. Not something we see a lot out of him, but we'll see if he's able to go to that more.
Woods back to Brown and now back. Woods puts that one up as he goes to the floor. No good. And Marquise will bring it down quickly. Pass it off to Keck. He'll lay it off the glass.
Good job there by Marquise pushing the ball in transition. Keck running the floor and a good finish.
Brown with it, setting up the team. He'll hand it off to Hanks. Hanks rises up at the top of the key, and that one going to roll around, hit the backboard, and end up going in for Little Priest. Hurst.
The zone defense here for Little Priest.
Keck back to Henry, who gets it to Abdel Nasser.
It's a 1-2-2.
Hurst going up with it, splits between the two defenders and goes up, able to get that one to go down. That'll give Iowa Central the lead now 6-4.
Good pass by Abdul Nasser there to Hurst.
Brown to Woods. And he'll get it to Hanks. Back to Woods. And now to Brown. A little bit of back and forth there. He'll rise up and take that shot. That's as we like to call it, NBA range.
Yes.
Back there.
That one was off of Central Avenue and 8th Street, way downtown.
Henry with it right now after Little Priest just went back on top. Abdel Nasser just short on that one, so they'll keep the lead. Little Priest will. As Brown brings it down, he's going to take it to the hoop, and he'll try to body Abdel Nasser but couldn't quite get there. Woods, a nice attempt to try and save it. Looked like his toe might have been on the line there, so they will send that one now Iowa Central's direction.
Good job by Abdul Nasser to keep position there, make it difficult on Brown, force him into a position he didn't want to be in, and create the turnover as a result.
So now Triton's with it in the corner. Get it to Hurst. Hurst gets that one blocked.
Officials letting them play in there.
Some great defense by a strong player that we saw looking at the stat sheet, DeQuante Fields of Little Priest.
Let's see if they go back to him. They went to him on the first possession, and he was able to get a bucket here. Let's see if they try to get it back to him. Yeah. He's got a size advantage in there against Hurst. Good job, Javante. Oh, throw it up. Oh!
Abdel Nasser loses the handle a little bit. We'll see if Gibb can make a play out of it here. Just off the rim. Couldn't quite get that one to fall, so Little Priest will come back down with it.
Good attack there by Andrew. Just got to finish. I thought we were going to see a little ESPN highlight reel for Javante.
And Woods feeling confident in the deep ball. Couldn't quite get that one to fall.
Coach says keep the confidence in the dribble, young fella.
Nice little step back by Henry. Decides to pass it to Abdel Nasser. That one, after missing one of his threes off the front of the rim, good for him on that three-point attempt. 9-7 now. Triton's up by 2. Brown going to slow down the pace a little bit as he brings it down the floor. Into Fields and back. A nice job there. Well designed. Great screen there by Fields to open up a little bit of a lane for Brown as he gets the easy bucket.
That's a nice little high post entry there, and that's where you got to talk and not lose him. A guy like Brown, as quick as he is, he turns the corner on you and he's gone.
Henry to Keck. Back to Henry. Now in the corner with Abdel Nasser. Gibb. Into Hurst, back out. Henry's going to rise up for that one, and he'll knock that one down as well. Back-to-back threes for the Tritons. Abdel Nasser with the first, and now Henry with
Marquise
that second.
Has really been playing good basketball. Had 20 in the win against Southwestern over the weekend. Had 16 against Kirkwood here, and really was a big difference in that game and was able to make some big plays on both ends of the floor. So good to see him get going here in the early going.
Woods taking it to the hole. Hits the bottom of the backboard.
I don't know about that one. A little delayed reaction from the official there. And for me, it's not so much that he called that. It's that the precedent's kind of been set early on that they were going to let them play. And
right.
There's been a lot of contact, and, hey, that's fine as long as it's on both ends. But there, I don't – if you're, coach over there, I'm wanting to know, okay, what's the difference in that and the 2 or 3 other body contacts that hadn't been called here?
We see a substitution come in for Little Priest, number 33, Lance Denny. He's going to check into the game, sending out Gio Clark. And both attempts good at the line there for Woods. As Abdel Nasser brings the ball down now for the Tritons to Gibb. Looked like he was trying to find Henry, but gets it to Keck. Hurst down low on the block. A nice little clutch there. Couldn't quite get it to go in, though. And Fields will come up with it as Little Priest brings it down to their end of the floor. Brown trying to get as close to the basket as possible. And they're going to send it Iowa Central's direction. Looks like might get a little bit of a foul call there against Denny.
Yep, it'll be over the back there. Brown trying to go through the chest of the defender there. He's a guy who's going to challenge you. He's going to put it on the floor and go right at you there.
Abdel Nasser bringing the ball down for the Tritons with just over 14 minutes left in this first half. Andrew Gibb with it now. He'll bring it out to survey the court a little better. Henry gets it to Keck in the corner. We'll send it to the other. Gibb with it, and now Abdel Nasser. That one, no contact with the rim at all for Abdel Nasser. So Little Priest will have it. Woods gets called for a travel. Had a little bit of a stutter step.
There was some words between him and Henry on the exchange there, a little extracurricular activity going on. And he changed pivot feet.
And it looks like Woods, maybe a little bit too much extracurricular activity, going to get teed up there. He was just enjoying himself a little bit too much, trying to egg on some players out there.
It really was just stupid because there was nothing there other than he traveled with the basketball, and then somehow that turned into a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't get bumped. He didn't get knocked to the floor. I mean, I don't know what was said. I'm sure there was, more than, do you want to go to church on Sunday that was said down there, but still.
Marquise Henry, they'll send him to the line to shoot the Tech free throws.
Or how's your mama and them doing? I doubt that was said either.
Henry knocks down both. A good choice to send to the line there. He's shooting 84% on free throws this season.
Shooting the ball with a lot of confidence, too.
Yeah.
We talked about how he's been playing, and he's really been playing well, shooting it with a lot of confidence.
Looks like we'll have Marquise Henry set to inbound it to Aris Abdel Nasser here.
Marquise, he's from Illinois, and he's a typical Illinois guard. About all the guards I've seen out of Illinois, they play with a lot of confidence, and they've got sticky hands on the defensive end, and he's another one of those.
Some great defense we saw there from a new face on the floor for Little Priest, number 3, Dante Innocent. Broke up a pass between the Tritons, but not going to throw out their confidence as Keck knocks down a three-pointer there. Javante Keck, number 30.
Javante was 7 in the early going here.
Brown with it, trying to set up his team here. Takes a 3. Off the front of the rim, no good.
Good closeout by Abdel Nasser.
Abdel Nasser will bring it down for the Tritons. Get it over to Gibb, and now into Hurst with Keck now. Now with Henry. To Abdel Nasser and into Hurst. Down to Gibb.
Low look. Nice look from Jeremiah, and a good cut from Andrew.
Innocent will bring it down. A little bit of between the legs action almost got him in trouble, but able to retain. Brown with it now. Back to Innocent, and now with Hanks. Into Fields. He rises up for the shot over Hurst. No good. Keck gets a rebound and gets it off to Abdel Nasser. Gibb with it, goes baseline. He'll go with the up and under, a little awkward, gets his own rebound. Another awkward shot and sends that one in, says, I'll take a freebie with that one, and gets himself to the line.
Well, hoop and harm for Andrew Gibb. Going to go to the line for a chance to 3 the hard way. Sticking to it, and his old high school coach, Adolph Kokendorf, would be happy with that one. Andrew being aggressive, going after the rebound.
Gibb sends that free throw through. He's at 82.5% this year, 80 for 97. He'll chalk it up to 81 and 98 now on the season.
Iowa Central on a run here, an 11-point lead, largest of the night.
Hand off Brown with it now to Denny with Hanks. And it looks like we'll get that call on Marquise Henry. That'll mark his first personal. Hanks will be set to inbound it here for Little Priest into Innocent. Setting up his team. A screen from Fields. Dumps it down into him. And we get a travel. Looked like he might have had a little bit of a stutter step going on there as he had man in front and behind him. A nice job on the double team there by the Tritons. Abdul Nasser will bring it down a little slow to allow his team to set up. Over to Gibb, and now with Abdul Nasser into Hurst. And he got called for the travel, just losing his balance a little bit, it looked like.
He was kind of off balance there. Pretty easy call for the officials.
Innocent going to bring it down the floor for the Warriors of Little Priest. And he takes it, switches gears quickly. Fields trying to lay that one in. Gets torn out of Keck's hand, but Marquise Henry will come up with it, turns on the afterburners, and rises up near the free throw line to knock that one in. Little Priest will call a timeout to try and ice out Iowa Central. 24-11, Iowa Central up with a 13-point lead. It seems like we saw kind of a similar story in the women's game.
Yeah, a little bit of a similar story, but Iowa Central playing tremendously here to open up this lead, and they're on a run. You saw Marquise Henry get to the loose ball. We talked about how he uses that quickness, and what I like there is he was under control. Yeah, he's going 100 miles an hour, but he's still under control. He saw that there was not going to be a path to the rim. He didn't try to force it. He pulled up. He took the 15-footer. You'll live with that in transition. He knocked it down. For all you young players out there watching on YouTube, watch how he squared his body up off of the dribble to pull up, because that was a textbook play by Marquise.
Lots of good points. Innocent bringing it down the floor. Denny with the screen for him. Marquise Henry gets over pretty quickly there. Out to Fields. We'll see if he can knock that one down. Bounces around. Not quite. That one will be rebounded and put back in by Aquarius Brown, a new face in the game here for Little Priest.
Aquarius said, what can Brown do for you? He can get a putback. Offensive board and a putback is what he can do right off the bench.
Fields bringing it down to Denny. And now with Brown. He takes it into the lane. Out to Innocent. He's trying to get in the lane.
Good
Gets
job,
it back
Marquise there. Oh, good D, Marquise. Knocked it off of Brown there.
Marquise Henry seeming like he's always got his hand in the cookie jar. Came into this game with 21 steals throughout the season so far.
Coach is going to give him a break. Zach Folks, we see him come into the game for the first time. Shooter, a guy who's been in double figures in both of his first two games in a Triton uniform.
And we see folks with it now for the Tritons. To Keck.
1-2-2 zone here for Little Priest.
Abdul Nasser to Gibb. And now back. And just out of reach of Hurst. It'll end up out of bounds and going Little Priest's direction. They will inbound it to Innocent as he'll bring it down, give the team some time to set up. He'll dump it out. And now with Denny to Brown. Brown,
spin
nice
cycle there for Brown.
And the right idea there by Fields to try and tip it back in, but just off on the second chance attempt as well. So Iowa Central with it now. Give back to Keck.
Triton's doing a good job against DeQuante Fields here. He's only got 2 here in the early going, and he comes in averaging 18.
Folks with a little bit of a mistake there, just kind of couldn't haul it in. Results in a turnover, and lucky for them, we could see Andrew Gibb did not want any part of that ball as it headed out right by his head, out of bounds. No contact with him. As we see Chom Dang check in for Iowa Central. Also seeing Osiande Igion for Little Priest checking in.
Yes, I believe they call his first name OJ for short.
Yeah.
OJ Igion in the ball game here.
I'll go with that. Maybe a little harder to mistake as I pronounce it.
Yes, just call him OJ. If we have trouble with the last name, we're just going to call him OJ, period.
As Keck knocks down a three-pointer for Iowa Central there in the corner. A great shot. 27-13 now, just over 9 minutes left in this first half.
Keck with 10 here, leading all scorers tonight.
And that one looked like it was last off of Fulks, and they're going to call it staying with Little Priest.
Javante, a young man with a ton of potential and a guy who really has an interesting skill set, can do a lot of things, and 6'7" to boot. You love that as a coach.
Innocent with it now. Gets the screen from Brown. Denny puts up the three. Just over on that, or under on the front of the rim on that one. Brown trying to force that one in. Couldn't quite get it. Gibb with it to Keck. Now into Dang. And Dang going to get called for a travel.
I thought they were going to get him for an offensive push-off there. Chom went in there with the off arm trying to clear out some space, the big man there.
Innocent bringing up the ball. To Brown. He's with it now at the top. Over to Denny. Now to OJ. With Brown. He tries to get into the lane. He kicks it out now. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Brown. Right mindset there, trying to get himself as close to the basket as possible, get a good shot attempt. Draws the foul with about 4 seconds on the shot clock. So he'll go to the line for a couple of attempts at free throws.
And you've got to feel like they kind of bailed him out a little bit. I mean, he was leading at the end of the shot clock. Javante Keck picks up the foul there. That's one that's got to drive Coach Hill crazy over there on the bench, I'm sure.
Second free throw, no good there for Brown. And Abdel Nasser will bring it down the floor. Passes it up to Gibb. Gibb going to take that one by himself in there. Gets that one to fall as Innocent brings it up now for Little Priest after the made basket.
You like when Andrew's in attack mode. He's at his best in attack mode, and he was there.
And Innocent, Dante Innocent, able to get the hoop in the arm, send himself to the free throw line for an attempt at the three-point play. As we see Fields check back into the game here, he's going to send Lance Denny to the bench for Little Priest. We'll see if Dante Innocent can complete the three-point play here. That one, a few friendly bounces to send it in, completing the three-point play. Score now 29-17.
We got a full court press here from Little Priest, a 1-2-2 three-quarter court press here.
Andrew Gibb with it now. Gets it into the corner to Keck, but not before he draws a foul right there.
Let's see who that's going to be on here.
Sounded like that one was against OJ. Fulks with it now in the corner, trying to get himself out of there, and he'll draw the foul against Brown.
He was kind of stuck there with Fulks, so kind of bailed out on the foul call there.
Abdel Nasser will inbound this one.
And they're going to check Marquise Henry back after a pretty good rest. He was on the bench for about 3.5 minutes of game time, and that really translates in about 5 minutes or so of real time. So Marquise should be fresh there. So good job of getting him in and out there.
Keck with it in the post. He gets into the lane.
Oh, a little run and jump hook for Javante.
Now he will send the Tritons to the line himself to try and get a Triton three-point play the hard way.
Am I watching Javante Keck or Vlade Divac? I'm not sure. Shades of Vlade from the late 90s and early 2000s.
And he will go ahead and complete the three-point play there for the Tritons. Innocent will bring the ball down for Little Priest. Gets a screen from Fields, trying to take it all the way himself. No good. And that one is going to end up out of bounds. It'll stay on Little Priest's end of the floor, though.
And the official down there under the basket with a good call. And how about that hurricane-proof hair that guy's got, too? I have noticed that. That hair has not moved this entire game, no matter what has happened.
Little Priest under the basket. Now Fields with it. Dang comes out from under the basket with it. Marquise Henry will bring it down the floor. Gets it to Abdul Nasser. Trying to get in the lane. To Dang. Dang for three. He'll knock that one down straight through. Tickles the twine. Sent the net right back up. Just a beautiful shot there by Dang.
And you know things are going well when your big guy's trailing the play. You kick it back to him. He knocks down a three. Chom Dang.
Innocent. Trying to drive in with it.
Ooh, and he's down.
And you never want to see anyone with their hands around their knee like that.
The way he went down, too, on kind of a sideways movement, that kind of makes you think, some sort of knee injury there, ligaments, things of that nature. And certainly we hope for the best there for Dante Innocent and hope that that's not serious.
Absolutely.
Athletic director for Iowa Central, Kevin Twade, out there to check on him, as well as the medical staff.
6 minutes, 18 seconds left here in this first half. Score currently Iowa Central 35, Little Priest down at 17 points. They've got an 18-point deficit that they're facing here.
I tell you, the Tritons tonight playing with a lot of balance offensively, playing with a lot of free flow, a lot of motion, moving the ball, sharing the ball. Different guys are contributing. Javante Keck, by far, this is the best that we've seen him look tonight. He's got 13. He's doing things in a variety of ways, scoring. That when I see this Javante Keck, I'm thinking, Division I transfer Javante Keck because at 6'7", can shoot the ball from the outside, can pass the ball, versatile defender too, and we even saw some back to the basket from him on a couple of plays as well. So you liking what you're seeing out of Javante here tonight.
Ball inbound to Fields there for Little Priest. He puts that one up. No good, but he'll draw the foul and send himself to the line. A familiar face we see back into the game for Little Priest, number 2, Giovanni Clark.
And 44 for Iowa Central in there, DeMonte Gall for the first time tonight.
That one good for Fields, the first attempt. We'll see.
Just his third point of the night, and they've done a good job on Fields bothering his shots, making it difficult for him here as he comes in averaging 18.
Number 15, Travis Woods, back in the game for Little Priest. Fields good on that second attempt, so he'll go 2 for 2 on that venture to the charity stripe. Folks with it as
1-2-1-1 here. Good job of breaking it.
Marquise Henry with it now for the Tritons. To Folks. He'll drive in, lay that one off the left side of the glass. No good. Dang with the offensive rebound and follow-up, however, he's able to knock it through. Little Priest on their end of the floor. Brown with it right now.
Chom Dang contributing off the bench. 5 points tonight for the big fella.
Woods with it now to Fields, who goes towards the basket.
Oh, good hands by Folks.
Folks with it, splits the two defenders, and he's looked like he was going to take it all the way. Gets it out to Henry, gets himself an assist instead to Marquise Henry, who's able to knock down the big bucket. 40-19, 21-point lead for Iowa Central. And they've just got to be loving this cushion that they're building themselves heading into this second half.
Yeah, they're playing tremendously in this first half and, playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of rhythm here. And if this was later in the game off of that one, I would have said, that's all, folks, after Zach Folks made the play and then Marquise Henry knocked it down in transition. A lot of game left here, but I tell you, Iowa Central, I think, has Little Priest on the ropes here, and I think you just got to keep punching away because they're against the ropes covering up. You just got to throw that knockout punch, and let's go ahead and put this one to bed early and get some guys some playing time in the second half, warm the bus up. Let's all go home happy with a Triton sweep here. But the Triton guys playing tremendously in this first half.
Brown bringing the ball down now for Little Priest, as Andrew Gibb is checked in over at the scorer's table to come in for Iowa Central. Over to Hanks. Back. Now to Woods. And back to Brown, who's going to take it into the lane now.
Push off. Oh, wow, they're going to get opposite. I thought for sure they would get Brown with the push off.
It did look like he outstretched his offhand there, but nonetheless, they'll call
it
foul.
Didn't look like he did. He definitely did. He did the Heisman pose almost.
So with Brown out there looking like Joe Burrow with the Heisman move, we will have Hanks inbounding the ball there. And we've also got Hunter Walker checked in for Little Priest now, his first minutes of the game, as Fields gets a basket there.
Can't let him catch it that deep. You let him catch it that deep, you're in trouble.
Triton's done a pretty good job of trying to keep him on the lower end points-wise, but we could see him start to heat up out here as Hurst gets the bucket there.
Somebody got lost defensively for Little Priest there.
Brown bringing it down. Looked like he was trying to switch gears there. Just ball got away from him. Henry loses it, and then Hanks will come up with it for Little Priest and get a basket for him.
That's a tough break for the Tritons there because they had transition going the other way.
Zach Folks with it over to Gibb and back. He gets it to Marquise Henry, who looked like he was about to rise up, decides against it, gets it to Folks, and that one off the side of the rim as Fields comes down with the rebound. He'll bring it down himself, get it to Woods, who will take it into the lane, draws a foul, and it looks like they'll send him to the line for two.
The 5 on the floor now for the Tritons, 22 Gibb, 14 Hurst, 44 Gaw, 4 Zach Folks, and 40 Marquise Henry. And for Little Priest, you've got Hanks 0, 34 Fields, 1 Brown, Woods 15, and 10 Hunter Walker.
So that one just a little off. We'll see if Woods can get this one to fall through. Second attempt up. And that one's going to go through. You see a press. Again, the 1-2-1-1 as it gets inbounded to Folks. Over to Henry. Up to Gaw. And a nice job by the Tritons to split that.
Yeah, Tritons have not had any trouble with the pressure. They've done a good job handling it.
Gibb with it now. Out to Henry. He'll take it into the lane. A nice pass out to Gaw. And some great defense there by number 10, Hunter Walker of Little Priest to bother the shot.
And good D by Andrew Gibb hustling back. Now, let me say this. Good D by Hunter Walker. DeMonte Gaw put Hunter Walker in a position to make that defensive play by dribbling the basketball. You young players out there, you catch it at the rim, go to the rim with it. Don't put it on the ground.
And another Fields basket we see there as he gets his position that he likes and gets it to fall through.
Folks got 8 now.
Marquise Henry with it to Folks. Trying to get into the lane. To Henry now. He head fakes. Now with Gaw to Folks. He takes it into the lane. And he'll draw a foul. They're going to call off the shot.
Oh.
He will go for 1-and-1, but of course would have loved the attempt at the three-point play there.
I thought he was on his way there really as the bump happened. So, but the officials nonetheless call it on the floor. In the NBA, that's a bucket.
That's a fair point.
I mean, in the NBA, you can get fouled at 5:30, score at 5:45, and still, get the continuation. And I thought Zach was kind of in the middle of making his move there.
Folks, no good on that second attempt, so he'll go 1 for 2 at that trip to the line. Hanks with it now. Getting into the lane, gets it out to Woods. Woods about to lose Gibb, but he's able to regain his balance. And enough to bother the shot and make Woods miss. So now Henry with it. Gets it to Folks.
Man-to-man now for Little Priest here.
Folks trying to get into the lane. Gets it out to Henry. He fakes. Just inside the arc. Gaw.
Rebound.
Gaw looked like he rose up enough he could throw it down, but decided to recollect himself and get the higher percentage shot there. Down to Brown. Looked like he was trying to get some contact. Gets it on the second attempt there.
Oh, they're going to get Jeremiah Hurst on the foul there. Jeremiah can't believe it. I'm kind of with Jeremiah there. Brown pretty much shot the ball into the hands of Jeremiah Hurst there. That's one detriment for Brown, as good a player as he is. He's so small. When he catches it in there, he's going to have trouble amongst the trees, if you will.
Brown no good on the first one. We see Abdel Nasser and Keck check into the game there as Marquise Henry and Jeremiah Hurst are going to go ahead and check out, get some rests on the bench.
Like what Coach is doing with the rotations there. Brings back Javante. He should be fresh and ready to go. Javante's had a nice night.
Keck with a wide open three-pointer thanks to the vision by Gibb. Not quite good on that one. That one will end up out of bounds. So Brown will inbound it here to Fields. Get it knocked back. And a nice spot there. Hunter Walker in the corner. Couldn't quite knock it down. That one going to be a close call, but they'll keep it with Little Priest.
And Walker was ready to shoot when he caught it there. Miscommunication for the Tritons as to who had Walker. And, you know, when a guy comes in the game, everybody's got to talk there. Keck came in, and that kind of threw off the defensive rotation there. You got to talk.
That one inbounded by Woods into Fields. Woods open in the corner. That one off the back iron. Keck comes down with the rebound. Abdel Nasser sends it up to Gibb. He's going to try and get himself to the lane.
Oh, he grabbed him. That should be intentional. I mean, he wrapped Andrew up by the waist.
That'll send Gibb to the line. He'll be shooting 1-1.
I'm a little bit surprised they didn't call flagrant there. Of course, they could say that Woods was kind of losing his balance, so maybe he was grabbing him to try to keep from both those guys falling there.
Gibb knocks down the first, so he'll get a second chance here. He'll be good on that one as well. And Brown will come down with it now for Little Priest. 47-26, a minute 45 left in the first half. Out to Brown. And Gaw comes up with it after a little bit of chaos. Brown lost it a little bit. Couldn't quite regain it because then it would have been called to travel. So Tritons come up with it. Gibb with it. Fires it to the corner. Keck now with Folks. A little behind the back action. Gaw with it. Head fakes. Takes it in.
And I tell you, the Tritons got to be happy here tonight. Coach has got to be happy with the minutes he's getting out of DeMonte Gaw here. Solid minutes on both ends of the floor here. And when you can get that across the board, you get that from a guy who, you know, you haven't played a ton to this point in the season. You know, that's an extra bonus.
Gaw knocks down his first of 2 free throws. DeMonte Gaw just over 50%, 51 on the year at the charity stripe. Gaw good on the second attempt as well.
24, Vicarious Brown back in. Dejon Brown takes a seat.
Hanks bringing it down the floor now for Little Priest. He puts that one up a good few steps behind the line. And they'll call that one out of bounds. It'll head down Iowa Central's direction. Abdel Nasser will be set to inbound here, it looks like, to Folks.
And they'll put a little extra pressure on here. They'll press the inbound here. Gibbs going to come up. Good job by Andrew stepping into the crease there.
Abdel Nasser bringing it down after Little Priest backs off on the press. Gibb to Gaw. He head fakes, and they'll call a travel. Looked like we saw a little bit of motion from that back foot.
Yep. Shuffled his feet there before he put it on the deck.
Hanks at the top now. Bringing it towards the corner. Hands it off to Brown. Brown to Woods. He'll try and get into the lane here. Drives in. He'll get the contact. Was hoping for it to fall, but couldn't quite get it there, so he'll go to the line for 2. 49-26. 23-point lead for Iowa Central with just over 30 seconds left in this first half.
We'll see what Iowa Central does on the offensive end. There's a 3-second, almost 4-second differential between shot and game clock here. So I would imagine they're going to try to run it down for the last shot pretty much of the half here.
Woods on that first shot from the free throw line is good as we see Deng check in for Iowa Central.
Cham, another guy's giving them some solid minutes off the bench here tonight too.
Woods on his second attempt here. Up. That one's through as well, so he'll go 2 for 2 there at the line. Inbounded to Abdel Nasser. Up to Gibb and now to Gaw. They break the press easily, and I think we'll see what you saw as we see them slow down a little bit.
This is an interesting matchup. Vicarious Brown about 6'5" out there on Abdel Nasser.
To Folks now. Folks will get it out to Gibb.
Right there. Oh, they call Gibb on the travel.
Looked like he might have shuffled his feet a
think
little bit
so.
as he got towards that elbow, just trying to find. Thought he had somebody and then decided to change at last minute. Kind of caught him off guard.
Otherwise, good possession, though. Good movement, smart kick out.
So now Little Priest, the last shot attempt. And that one going to sting a little heading into halftime, but
Hanks with 2 straight air balls here from deep. And Iowa Central, how about that first half offensively? Season high in terms of a half of basketball in terms of scoring, 49-28, and offensively things are clicking for the Tritons, getting a lot of contributions from a lot of guys here at the half.
Yeah, Iowa Central on pace now to beat their average points per game, usually averaging just about 79%. But as you talked about, we've been seeing some quality minutes from guys we haven't seen lately on the floor. DeMonte Goff, also Cham Dang out there on the floor. The whole team just doing a great job, whether they were starters or coming off the bench here, just doing a great job of supporting the team here in this game.
How about this to back up that point? 8 guys have scored here for the Tritons in the first half. And so you talk about that. They've played 9 guys, 8 of them have scored. So you're getting contributions all over around the board here. And another thing, as well as they played offensively, we've kind of ignored the fact that, Little Priest came in averaging 83 points a game, and they held them to 28 at the half. Now, I'm no mathematician here, but I'm pretty sure that's below their average for the half. So a good job defensively for the Tritons as well. And that's the thing, they've made Little Priest play a half-court ball game here for the most part. Little Priest has not been able to get up and down like they want to, and we'll see if they continue that. Now, the big thing, always the most important factor and the toughest thing to do that I found when I was a coach was to keep guys sharp and keep guys from letting off in this situation. So we'll see if Iowa Central, if Coach Hill is able to get the guys, ready to play in the second half, staying in this game, focused, and no letdown. Don't get complacent. You would see, I would always see when I get a lead, 15, 20 points, you would see guys, coach, instead of moving over there on defense, I'm just going to grab and commit a foul. Or, instead of taking it to the bucket, coach, I'm just going to shoot a 3 when I could drive it to the bucket. Complacency. So that's probably what he's going to be preaching in the halftime locker room. Avoid complacency. Let's play to our standard. Let's play like we did the first half. Let's finish this thing off in style.
Right. One of the great things I think we've seen from Iowa Central on offense is just being able to spread the ball, not only scoring in just one spot. They've had some great baskets. Andrew Gibb, we always see him cutting in, whether it's an open lane or trying to draw some contact on a short bucket, high efficiency, high quality, or if it's an outside shot we saw early on from Aris Abdel Nasser, also saw from Marquise Henry being able to knock down that outside shot.
Yeah, they've scored in a variety of ways here tonight. And, even individual guys have scored in a variety of ways. And that, Javante Keck. Javante's got 13. I mean, we've seen him do some back-to-the-basket post-move stuff. We've seen him knock down some outside shots. We've seen him go to the free throw line. So guys are kind of putting their skill sets on display here and doing it in a variety of ways, and anybody will tell you that that's a matchup nightmare when you've got guys who are scoring in so many different ways. What do you do to take that away? Because no matter what you do defensively, you're going to give up something, and then so you wonder what it is you're going to give up. That's the question here. So Iowa Central doing a tremendous job on the offensive end, as you mentioned, scoring in a variety of ways.
Well, we've had a great beginning of the night with basketball, had the game earlier, now a great first half. Here, the men's game, Iowa Central up against Little Priest 49-28. We've got about 11 minutes left in halftime here, so join us back here in about 8 minutes as we'll recap some more of what we saw here in this first half and give you a little bit of heads up on what we think we'll see here in the second half in Hodges Fieldhouse between Iowa Central and Little Priest. So keep it tuned in right here on the Triton Nation Network. And we're back here on the Triton Nation Network. Second half of action here as we get one to fall for Little Priest there, number 34, that we'd seen the volume scorer for them throughout the season, DeQuante Fields. Abdel Nasser with it now for the Tritons.
And Fields now in double figures with 10 on the night here.
A nice steal there by Brown. He's going to take it coast to coast. He'll get that one to fall through. 2 straight buckets to start off the second half for Little Priest.
Quick 4-0 run for the Little Priest Tribal College here.
Andrew Gibb trying to answer back. Couldn't quite get that one to fall, so Brown will bring it down. And Woods with that one. Not going to fall through. Marquise Henry will bring it down. This time for the Tritons. He tosses that one up for Hurst. Hurst wanted that one bad, but couldn't quite get a handle on it. So it'll come back Little Priest Tribal's direction. Fields with it right now. Quante Fields gets it to Woods. Woods thinking about the three-pointer again. Takes it in this time. Draws the foul. And one on that bucket.
And here's what I talked about, complacency here. Triton's a little bit sloppy coming out of the halftime locker room here. And Little Priest now on a 6-0 run.
Woods at the free throw line. Puts this one up. No good. Still a 2-point play, though. Gets the bucket regardless. Abdel Nasser will bring it down for the Tritons. Toss it over to Gibb. Gets it into the corner to Keck. Back out top to Abdel Nasser. Hurst with it now into the lane. In the corner to Keck. And he's going to put that one down.
Send it in, big fella.
And he puts the hammer down early in this second half. 8:15 still to go. 51-34.
And that breaks that run, too. That makes that 6-0 run disappear in a big way. Javante hammering it home.
And we'll see if that can slow down some of the momentum that we saw here early from Little Priest. Fields not able to get it to go, and then Brown trying to follow it up but couldn't get the second chance to go either. Abdel Nasser will bring it down. Hurst with it in the corner. He'll take it into the lane, put that one up, and that one is good.
I think Jeremiah probably got away with a walk there, but a no call. And now the Tritons answer that run, a 6-0 run, with a 4-0 run of their own here.
And your coach will go ahead and call a timeout. 53-34, 19-point lead here for Iowa Central. And still plenty of time to go, though, in this second half. 17:49 left.
I like what Coach Hill is doing here. He's coaching to his standard and pointing out the mistakes here and not coaching with the mindset of we've got a 19-point lead, but he's coaching to the standard of play that he expects out of these guys and demands, and I like what he's doing there in the timeout, pointing out the mistakes.
Little Priest will inbound this one here. Hanks set to send it into Brown. He'll bring it down the floor. Brown will let his team get set up here. Sends it over to Hanks on the right side. Into Fields. Fields will try and get better position here. Gets that one knocked out, looked like by Gibb. Fields will regain possession. And he calls the travel on Fields before the foul. A good call. Looked like Fields took a couple of steps.
It was tremendous defensive help there, first by Gibb, and then also Abdul Nasser coming in there to help as well.
1-2-1-1 press we see there from the Warriors of Little Priest Tribal. Out to Gibb for the three-pointer. Head fakes. Little reverse layup. Good for Gibb.
Good job, Andrew. We talk about how effective he is when he stays in attack mode there, and he attacked the rim that time.
Brown with it on the right side. Now up top with Brown. Over to Woods. He pump fakes. Takes it in. Some good defense inside by the Tritons. And it looked like Keck might have gotten the foul there against Brown.
You're going to get a foul called on you whether you touch the guy or not when you swing your arm in the air like that. And that's what happened with Javante there, his third person.
So Brown at the line for two. Aquarius no good on that first one. And we see 23 OJ check back into the game. Five we've got on the floor for the Tritons right now. Number 2, Aris Abdel Nasser. Number 14, Jeremiah Hurst. Number 30, Javante Keck. Number 22, Andrew Gibb. And number 40, Marquise Henry. And it looks like Little Priest trying to sub in to Quante Fields, pending his substitution out of the floor right now. We've got 0, Keyston Hanks. Number 1, Dejon Brown. 23, OJ Igion. Number 15, Travis Woods. And currently, number 24, Aquarius Brown. Andrew Gibb with it now, bringing it down the floor. Over to Javante Keck, and now with Marquise Henry. To Aris Abdel Nasser. In the corner to Gibb. Gibb putting up the 3. That one in and out. So Woods will bring it down the floor. Stutter steps. That one bounces around and ends up going through the bucket for 2.
Woods is just putting his head down there and driving to the hole and able to get to the rim.
Abdel Nasser driving into the lane, kicks it out to Hurst.
Travel.
And Hurst just a few steps. He was stepping back towards that three-point line and then just looked like he took one back in there, one extra towards the basket.
He's from Alabama, not Texas, but he did the 2-step there before putting it on the deck. That's a travel every time.
So Woods will bring it down for Little Priest after that turnover. Hanks rises up. A little off on the three-point attempt, but it'll get rebounded offensively by Fields. A little bit of a finger roll, lays that one up and in.
Fields is so strong around the hole like that. Good offensive board to put back.
A nice cut by Keck. Wanted that second dunk of the night, but couldn't quite get it to fall.
I thought he was about to put Fields on a poster right there. Fields had to foul him. Javante was about to bring the house down with that one. And catch a body, as the young folks say.
Keck still with a chance to convert for 2, however, at the free throw line here.
That certainly catch a body, not from my era, more from your era. But I got to say, you're probably surprised that I know that. I only know that from watching YouTube videos.
Put it into the lingo dictionary there. Hold on to that one. Brown with it over on the right side for Little Priest. OJ with it now to Woods. Mishandles a little bit, regains possession. Looked like he might have had that hand outstretched, but Brown with it now. Intended for Hanks, but Fields comes up with it. Marquise Henry comes in with the steady hand to rip that one out. Gibb with it in the corner, brings it in towards the lane now. Through 2 bodies once again, gets that one with the outstretched hand to go through. Brown with it, pulls back to let the team get set up. Woods with it. Thought about it and then put it up. And that one going to be out of bounds on Keck. Was trying to haul it in, but couldn't quite gain possession. And it'll stay down here with Little Priest Tribal. Woods set to inbound here. Looked like he was trying to float that one. It ended up in between OJ and Brown. So Abdel Nasser will come up with it, and they'll get him with the extra step there.
Yep.
The unexpected
pretty easy
body.
one there. He took the extra step after he'd already took 2 on the spin.
So after that turnover, Brown will bring it down for Little Priest. He'll bring it around to the right side. Down to OJ. Gets it back out to Brown. He'll try and get into the lane. Out to Woods. He's got a wide open three-pointer, and you can tell as it goes right through.
Travis Woods, he's been pretty good for them, especially after that technical he got in the first half. You know, he's played really well since then and kind of played with some poise as well. He's got 16 to lead the way here for Little Priest.
Gibb with it now to Hurst. Lost it. He's going to strip it out of the hands of Woods, though. Marquise Henry out to Gibb. Gibb wide open off the side of the rim. Little Priest will come down with the rebound. Brown comes down to his end. And they're going to call Abdel Nasser on the foul there. So it'll stay down on Little Priest's end. 14 minutes left in the game. 59-42 the score, with Iowa Central up against Little Priest Tribal. Jam Dang set to check in for Iowa Central. He's at the scorer's table as Fields misses that one. Couple extra attempts there. They're able to get that one to fall.
DeQuante Fields has got 14. His average is 18, so he's on his pace here to his average.
Abdel Nasser to Gibb, who cuts baseline. Tried to get the reverse. Got stuck a little, had to release it earlier than he wanted.
Good block by Jaquarius Brown there.
Brown with it. Out by the three-point line in the corner. Now with Brown. That one off the rim. And we'll see who they call that one off of. Looked like it was off Abdel Nasser, and they're going to keep it here on Little Priest's end as we have Deng checking into the game. He's going to send Jeremiah Hurst to the bench.
Jeremiah going to get a breather here. He's played a lot of minutes here tonight.
Woods inbounds to Aquarius Brown. Aquarius over to Dejon Brown. Takes it straight to the hole. No good on that one.
You've got numbers here. Abdul Nasser, give it up there. He does.
Marquise Henry up to Javante Keck. Looked like he was trying to get it to Deng. Not quite there. A smart move to slow it down and kick it back out. Deng, another three-pointer. That one off the mark. We saw one fall for him earlier in that first half, but not quite good on that attempt. Dejon Brown will bring it down. Tries to get the layup there. No good. So Abdel Nasser will bring it down. He's got Gibb on the outlet. A nice lay-in there. Woods trying to get the nasty block off the glass, but couldn't quite get there in time. So Gibbs' layup falls through 61-44.
And a good run out there by Andrew Gibb. Tremendous job for him, hustling down the floor. He's rewarded for it, and he's able to finish at the rim. Andrew with 15. Good balance here for the Triton offense. Three guys at double figures here. Henry with 10, Keck leading the way with 17, and Andrew Gibb with 15. Of course, for Little Priest, they're getting a pretty good output out of Fields. He's got 14, averaging 18. But they've made him take a lot of shots to get that 14, and then Travis Woods with 15. But other than that, they've done a good job on everybody else from Little Priest. So that's kind of been the difference on the defensive end for Iowa Central here today.
We've had some great basketball played so far tonight. Previously had the women's Iowa Central team beat the women's Little Priest Tribal College team, ended up 84-70. Had a few different runs during that game and had a tight point at the beginning of the fourth quarter and ended the third, but Iowa Central women were able to pull away towards the end of that game.
Pulled away late, and Isabel West, kind of the story, 27 points for her. Huge night for her. And Mardisha Cross, I like what she did late, attacking the basket, showing leadership as well, and dishing the ball off late in the game, in the women's game.
Iowa Central men looking for a similar outcome here as they've got that 17-point lead, 61-44, hoping to pull away with the wind as they send it into Fields inside the arc. Back out to Dejon Brown. Couldn't quite find anything, so he sends it out to Fields. Thought about the three. He's going to rise up there. Off the front of the rim, Marquise Henry will come down with the ball.
You'll live with that. Fields not a guy who's going to make his bones at the three-point line, so you'll live with that if you're Iowa Central.
To Deng, and now with Henry. Back out to Gibb. He'll get it to Keck. A little bit of a pump fake there. Back out to Deng. And with Gibb now into the lane. Out to Abdel Nasser. He'll shoot with 6 on the shot clock. No good. Dejon Brown gets it up to Woods. He gets it into OJ. And nice pass back. Wasn't quite there. A little low. Gibb with it as he runs out. And a nice reach out layup right there for him.
Good job using his body to shield there and then finishing.
Dejon Brown with it for Little Priest. Cuts around Fields there. Gets it to OJ. He shoots from the elbow. That one is good, 63-46 now.
First bucket for OJ, easy on in the game.
to Abdul Nasser now as he brings it up. Henry with it. Now with Deng into the corner to Gibb, and with Henry now in that corner.
Iowa Central's really done a nice job valuing the ball, taking care of the ball here against the pressure. Nice move.
And they're going to call Abdul Nasser with the travel. Looked like he might have stuck with that left foot for his pivot foot, but
maybe. I thought that he just planted and had the foot planted. I actually kind of teach that move, or did when I was a coach. So, yeah, I'm going to disagree with that one with the official's call, but nonetheless a travel.
Keck trying to get that away as Fields fumbles with it a little. Now with Vicarious Brown with Woods. Calling for a screen from O.J. Ejian. And Deng will come up with it. Get it to Abdul Nasser as he brings it down the floor. Deng calling over for the screen. Henry takes it.
Nice
He's got an open lane there and takes it. Results in a nice little layup. 65-46 now.
Nice job that time, kind of splitting that double team up top by Marquise.
Aquarius Brown tries to take it in. Keck with the block. He'll send it up to Folks. Back to Henry. Wide open from behind the arc. He gets that one to fall for three. Lead will be above 20 now for Iowa Central.
Largest lead of the night here at 22, and good transition basketball between Folks and Marquise Henry.
Screen from Ejian, and they send it over to Jean Brown now with Fields as he takes the elbow jumper. No good. Abdul Nasser bringing it down the court. Over to Folks. Woods wanting the steal pretty bad right there. He's able to tip it, though.
Dangerous pass there from Aris Abdul Nasser, but didn't hurt the Tritons there as they retained possession.
Some substitutions. Jeremiah Hurst comes in for Iowa Central, and checking in for Little Priest Tribal, number 33, Lance Denny, and number 0, Keyston Hanks. Down low to Hurst for the Tritons. On the block. Gets that one blocked. Deng, wide open three-pointer. His second one of the night. 2 for 3 from behind the arc for the big man.
Cham spotting it up and knocking it down here. Cham's got 8 in the game here.
Woods gets it to Denny. And now down to Fields. Back out to Denny. And a little back and forth action between the two. Now out top to Woods. Falls back a little. Abdul Nasser, another risky pass. This one connects with Marquise Henry. Folks looked like he was going to spot up for the three, and then another fake on the inside. Deng, the same. Couldn't quite get that one to fall.
And coach says, okay, Cham, you calm down now.
Hanks will rise up again. We've seen that move a few times from him tonight. A few steps behind the three-point line. This time, offensive rebound by Fields. He gets that one to fall on the second chance effort.
They haven't went to Fields enough, in my opinion, in the second half. I believe that they've kind of forced too much isolation, and haven't went to DeQuante Fields enough.
And Woods gets that one to go in. Want to acknowledge a great play there by Fields. Just about fell apart. Almost went right into Deng's hands, but Fields was able to reach out, haul that one in, and get it up to Woods for the
Travis
basket.
Woods has 17 here, but he's taken a lot of shots. Like they used to say about a guy that I played with, he never met a shot he didn't like. Well, Travis Woods never met a shot he didn't like, at least here tonight. They're a skilled offensive player, but a guy that's got to learn a little bit of shot selection at times there.
Woods, no good on that attempt. And it looks like got an over-the-back call there on number 24, Vicarious Brown. That will bring Dejon Brown into the game for Woods. Folks inbounds to Gibb, and back to Folks, swinging it around now to Henry. He'll get it back over to the left side to Folks, and they'll get it into the middle to Deng. Folks now set up, driving into the lane. He takes that one all the way himself. right to the hole. That one going around and in. 73-50. Iowa Central up by 23 points.
Good job attacking the bucket there by folks.
Dejon Brown looking like he might have gotten bailed out there by Deng as he had picked up his dribble, kind of lost his balance, and was about to take an extra step, but Deng, a little bit of a bump there, so he'll get called for the foul. Fields out to Hanks, another deeper three, and he's just looking like he needs to get a few extra steps into that. He's been a little short on those deeper shots throughout this second half. Knocked down a couple there in that first, but just hasn't seemed to be on the money on those past few attempts. So after that miss, Iowa Central come down to their end of the floor. Gibb with it right now. Gets it to Deng. Out to Hurst. Hurst gets in, kicks it out to Gibb. Gibb will shoot for three. No good on that one. Fields with the rebound. He'll get it up to Dejon Brown. Brown going to take it to the hole, and he'll get that one to fall. And now Folks bringing it down. Zach Folks out to Hurst in the corner. Now back on the right side to Folks. To Hurst. And with Aquarius Brown on the ground, Hurst able to get that one in easily.
Good drive there by Jeremiah. Good movement by the Tritons there. You see the dribble drive kind of motion. They're able to attack off of it.
6.5 minutes left here in the second half. As Fields looked like he was looking at that one, didn't quite like it. Thought he could get better position, and he did. Higher percentage shot, and the layup gets that one to fall.
He's got 18 as average here tonight.
A nice little sling pass there by Henry across court to Deng. Folks with it now, drives into the lane. Takes it to Denny, and he gets that one to fall.
He just blew right by Brown there on the perimeter, did Zach Folks.
Aquarius Brown with it on the left side. Gets it over to Denny. Looked like he might have been trying to get it in to Fields there, but Deng and Hurst are able to surround it. Gibb with it now. Folks in the corner. He's going to put that one up. And you can tell he's a shooter from that shot right in the corner. Dead eye straight through the net for three.
Good job of spotting up, having his feet ready there, ready to shoot the ball, shoulders square to the bucket.
Fields with it, gets into the lane, and he gets the contact with the bucket, so he'll see if he can make it a three-point play here.
You got to kind of wonder if Fields has got much gas left in the tank, because he's played a ton of minutes here tonight, and it's been up and down, so you kind of wonder about that here. But at least looking pretty good, at least on the offensive end on that play. But a guy who now has 20 in this ball game, DeQuante Fields.
We see a few subs coming into the game there for Iowa Central, number 44, DeMonte Gaw. And for Little Priest, we see number 10, Hunter Walker, and number 15, Travis Woods, re-enter the game. As Folk saves it from running out to the baseline, out of bounds there. Gibb with it. DeMonte Gaw able to run that one down. And now Folks with it. Back to Gaw. A nice spin move. Now to Folks. Wow.
Pass.
Looked like we might have had a little bit of a no-looker there.
Yep. Nice pass from Zach Folks reading the floor there. Good finish by Gall, but now he did the same thing there where he put it down on the ground to go straight up with it. Didn't hurt him there, but just a kind of a bad habit to be in.
Lance Denny, a little bit of a fader there. Couldn't quite get that one to fall. Folks gets it to Gibb. And he takes it into the lane. Splits a couple defenders. Couldn't quite get it to fall.
Andrew Gibb was going to the hole no matter what right there.
And Dejon Brown rises up for a three-pointer. That one a little off the mark. Gibb will come down with it. Up to Folks. And Dejon Brown able to get his hand on the ball and maybe a little extra there, so it'll send Zach Folks to the line.
And I don't know what Marquise Henry was doing there. Marquise was fanning out like he was looking for the kick out instead of cutting back to the basket where folks could have just dropped it right back to him. But we have seen Marquise hit those shots in that situation, so I guess that's what he was doing there. But if you're Coach Hill, you're saying wide open lane. My thing was always you got a wide open lane, cut to the basket there. But nonetheless, no harm, no foul. In a proverbial sense, as Zach Folks knocks down the free throw.
Couple of fresh faces in for Iowa Central. I haven't quite seen them yet. Number 24, Jeremy Kembamba for the first time in the game, along with number 42, Sam Glenn, making his first appearance tonight. For Little Priest, number 23, OJ Egion, back into the game.
2-3 zone now for the Tritons. First time we've seen that tonight.
With Egion, Marquise Henry gets it up to Folks.
I don't know.
Looked like he was going for
right
something
there.
a little fancy there, but Sam Glenn with it. Gets it to Marquise Henry.
And Folks is kind of a little bit ginger, it looks like, after that. I don't know what he was trying to do there because he wasn't going to 360 jam that. He wasn't. I hate to tell it, but he wasn't going to.
Dijon Brown with it. Gall looked like he was going to try and set up for the charge there, but Brown with the awareness to get around. A fancy little move right there to see if he can get that three-point chance.
In the open floor by Dijon Brown. And, Zach, he may have threw that one down to straight up. He goes straight up and one-hands it, but trying to throw it down 360 style, not going to happen a whole lot.
And you brought up the point of whether we saw him tweak it or whether he tweaked it or not on that play. You shouldn't be too overzealous with stuff towards the end of the game just because you have the lead, because you could injure yourself for future games along the road.
Yeah, and, just go up and take the bucket, take what's there. If it's a dunk, throw down a one-handed dunk. You've had a good game, team's winning, everybody's going to, they're going to cheer about that dunk. They're going to cheer about the layup. You get 2 points either way. You take the 2 points right there. And I'm surprised that Coach didn't really take him out or didn't shoo him out there.
A good take by Walker. Couldn't quite get that one to fall. And we'll see. Looks like Denny might have gotten called for the foul, or drew the foul on that one. Excuse
Woods
me.
Is a little bit ginger over there. And one of the guys in the band, I don't know if he's waving at us, but he's been waving for 10 minutes over there. I guess he was waving at you.
A couple of guys trying to get my attention over there. Zach Folks now with it, bringing it down for Iowa Central. Over to Sam Glenn, getting some of his first minutes of the night. DeMonte Gall with it on the right side. Out to Folks. Now with Henry. Just under 3 minutes left in the game now.
Hey, and Gall lays it up without taking the dribble right there. So that's progress. Good job there. Nice pass by Henry.
Woods on the left side with it now. Gets it across to Denny on the right. Down low to Walker. And now back to Dijon Brown. And Gall with a little bit of a bailout as Brown was riding the baseline. Gets Gall with a push. So that'll send him to the line with 2, as Iowa Central has 10 team fouls that they've committed now in the game.
Tell you something that really impresses me about Dijon Brown is how strong he is. He may be, pound for pound, the strongest guy in this basketball game. He may be the strongest guy pound for pound in this gym right now. I mean, he's a guy with a lot of physical strength packed into that frame there.
Yeah, that's what we've seen for a number of these drives, just him being able to get himself towards the basket and either chalking up the bucket or drawing a foul.
He's in double figures with 10 now.
Zach Folks will bring it down the floor for Iowa Central. Get it over to Braithwaite, who we're seeing for the first time in the game for the Tritons now. Glenn just off on the three-pointer. Saw the guys on the bench rise up. Always liking to see a guy who might be a fresher face knocking down those buckets. That's Folks. Pretty close. A layup, 2 points nonetheless, as you brought up.
Take the 2 points.
Dijon Brown will bring it down. He'll get it off to Woods. Woods a good few steps behind the three-point line. Knocks that one down. Zach Folks with it, bringing it down for Iowa Central. To Glenn. Now with Gaw. Folks with it. Getting into the lane. That one blocked by Lance Denny. Some nice defense by Denny right there. As we've got Aquarius Brown back into the game for Little Priest. Number 20, Omar Vargas, seeing his first minutes in an Iowa Central uniform.
And Zach Folks will take a seat. That'll be the night for him. As the guys who played in the rotation tonight will sit and watch the reserves finish this one off.
Braithwaite out to Glenn, gets it into Gaw. A nice finish by Gaw.
Gaw's got 9 here tonight.
Walker loses that one. Kambamba will come up with it.
Run the floor, Jeremy.
Up to Braithwaite.
I was hoping they were going to dish it back to Jeremy. Let him rip the rim off right there.
We've still got about a minute of play left. We'll see what they can make out of it. Dejon Brown taking it to the basket. Straight to Kambamba, and he gets that one to go down. Inbounded to Vargas. Over to Glenn. Vargas with it. In the corner to Braithwaite. Now with Gaw. Back up top to Vargas. 15 seconds on the shot clock. About 40 on the play clock. Or excuse me, game clock. Gaw driving in.
Oh, good block.
That one blocked by Denny. Some good defense. Brown, Aquarius Brown gets that one to fall. Shot clock shut off. 26 seconds on the game clock. Braithwaite with it. He'll get it across court to Glenn.
And that'll be it. Iowa Central going to dribble it out. Little Priest going to warm the bus up. And the Tritons going to put together a nice performance here tonight. A doubleheader sweep, Dan Johnson, women and men here, as the Triton men, impressive fashion at 92-68.
Yeah, a couple of great games that we saw throughout the night. One of the points of the victory here, DeQuante Fields, kind of a poison for Little Priest that they like to use against teams. A volume scorer, able to score most of their points. Iowa Central able to hold him down through that first half. He kind of came out a little bit in this second half, but able to hold him low enough in that first half to walk away with this win.
Well, he ended up with 20, but it was 20 that he had to fight for and take a lot of shots to get. And as you mentioned, they were able to limit him early. And a lot of what he got in the second half was in situations where they weren't keying on him as much, weren't as critical possessions. So you can kind of understand that. Travis Woods had a pretty good game in terms of scoring for them too, but Woods had to take a lot of shots to get there. All in all, for Iowa Central, a very, very efficient ball game here tonight.
And we had talked about just their ability to spread the floor tonight. They did so great. Started off with a couple of long balls from both Marquise Henry and also Aris Abdul Nasser, where we were able to see a little bit of a throwdown there by Javante Keck throughout that second half. Also saw some vintage Andrew Gibb, where he was able to couldn't quite get his outside game going, but knew that, put up a few long balls throughout the game just to do a little bit of a heat check, and then was able to get in close to the basket and either knock down those easy high percentage shots or draw the foul and get himself to the free throw line, where, of course, he's had plenty of success as he came in tonight. 80 for 97 on free throws, shooting about 82% throughout the season. Also saw some of the great moves from Marquise Henry that we've seen through the season. As I said earlier, he loves to get his hand in the cookie jar. Had 21 steals coming into the game tonight and saw him doing extremely well, not only on the offensive end, but also on the defensive end throughout the night. They'll extend their streak out to 2 wins. As we said, both of the Iowa Central teams beating Southwestern Community College in their last games. The men beating them 83-78. They came in here 6-10. They'll be heading out of here with a 7-10 record, and Little Priest Tribal College is going to be moving down to 4-10 through 14 games on the season.
4 Tritons in double figures tonight. Both Andrew Gibb was 17 and Javante Keck was 17, leading the way, and then had 15 from Zach Folks off the bench and Marquise Henry with 15. And we talked about Zach Folks, and I don't want to take away from what any of these other guys did here tonight, but I think what Zach Folks gives them is a dimension they didn't have, an extra scorer off the bench. I mean, when you got a guy comes off the bench and now in 3 games has scored 16, 15, 15, you've got a chance of outscoring the other team's bench every single game, and that's what we saw here tonight for Zach Folks and for the Tritons. 4 guys in double figures. DeMonte Gall almost had double figures, had 9. So good balance here tonight, a team win and an efficient one tonight. And I think Coach has got to be happy with this one, and everybody will go home happy with a Triton sweep. And, of course, we'll set our sights now going forward to Saturday. If the great blizzard of 2020 doesn't get us on Friday night, going forward, we'll be here on Saturday as the Tritons will take on in-state foe DMAC Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, we'll hope to be out here, as you said, on the 18th, and then after on the 25th, we'll be live streaming both of those sets of games. But tonight, just a great game of basketball. You're going to be happy if you're the Tritons, especially the men's team, because you got to see some depth coming in from that bench. Omar Vargas getting his first minutes in an Iowa Central uniform, as we said. Sam Glenn getting out there, who doesn't see
the best that
minutes.
We've seen Cham Ding play as well. You know, a lot of contribution. DeMonte Gall had his best game of the season. Cham Ding, those 2 guys, you know, combined for 16 between them, and then Zach Folks. You put those 3 guys together off the bench, that's 31 points out of your bench tonight, and that's how you get to 92. You don't get to 92 with 5 guys scoring. You need about 9 guys scoring, and that's what this Iowa Central Triton's able to do here tonight.
So a great game of basketball if you're a great night for basketball if you're an Iowa Central Triton. The women walking away with a win in their game, 84-70 against Little Priest Tribal, and then the men walking away with a win, 92-68. They'll be extremely happy with the night. I've been Dan Johnson here on Play-by-Play. Rob, want to thank you once again for joining me here tonight in Hodges on Color.
And man, it's been a blast. Come over here and catch some Triton basketball and work with you guys in the broadcasting department. I always enjoy that. And, of course, Saturday it'll be a 1 p.m. tip-off here if the weather doesn't get us against DMAC. And looking forward to being back on Saturday afternoon for the women's game starting at 1 and then the men's game to follow, another doubleheader here at Hodges. And if you're not out here at Hodges, I don't know. I guess I'm going to give you a pass on the weather because it is cold. It's kind of nasty. But you look at $5 admission you can take in 2 games, and you don't get a better entertainment value than that. So I would implore everybody to come out, brave the weather on Saturday afternoon if we're here and able to be here on Saturday afternoon. Take in this doubleheader. It's Saturday. What else you got to do besides come in here? It's going to be cold out there, but you're only going to be out there for a couple of minutes, and then you're going to be in here in the warmth of Hodges Field House and take in a pretty good doubleheader. And I'm expecting a competitive back and forth kind of 4-quarter war, if you will, against DMAC on Saturday. It should be interesting.
So just one more quick recap for you. Both teams now on a 2-game win streak. The women's team for Iowa Central walking away with a win, 84-70, and the men's team walking away with a 92-68 win here against Little Priest Tribal College. Join us again, as Rob said, this Saturday, the 18th, as the Tritons take on DMAC, Des Moines Area Community College. All the action will be right here on the Triton Nation Network.